What's going on, everybody? Happy Thanksgiving. I hope everybody ate a lot of food, had some fun with families. If you're joining us tonight, I just thought it'd be fun to go down Thanksgiving tradition, watch some old school Survivor Series. You're going to have me for the entirety. You might have other people jumping on. Right now, with me, we got the Bionic Silverback, Nate Slater from Texas All Star Wrestling, joining us, hitting that food coma
Just say hi.
already.
Say hi. Say bye.
Hi. Bye. So we're gonna join. We're gonna probably be joined by a couple people throughout the stream, but we're gonna watch Survivor Series 1991. This is gonna be like I might have seen some of this, but I know I have not seen a lot of it. So I'm pretty sure I've seen at least the main event, Hogan and Taker. This is the one where Flair slides the chair in, I think. But
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I probably have not seen this, and it's because I wasn't a WWF guy.
same,
So
same. But I mean, I might have. I mean, I've at least if this is the Hogan Undertaker main event where like Flair comes down and slides the chair in, Taker beats Hogan. I've seen at least that clip. Like I at least know that happens. But
no,
uh,
no. But real quick, Happy Turkey Genocide Day, brother. Happy Turkey
yeah,
Genocide Day.
when you
All
said
them,
that, I popped so hard.
all them turkeys that died for the day, man.
Hmm. Hmm. I'm
somebody,
always.
somebody, somebody sent me a thing and said, "Turkey's checking the weather for today." It said 350 degrees.
Oh, I like that. I like that. So it looks like we start off with Jake the Snake and Macho Man in the ring. Macho Man's tied up. I think this is just like a video package. Oh yeah, this is where
He got bit.
he got bit.
I've
Yeah,
seen that one. Seen
yeah,
that one.
yeah.
You seen you seen Jake's interview on what happened with that?
No.
Talking about Randy comes in and he was like, "All
Oh
right,
yeah,
tonight's the night we're gonna do it. But before I let me get bit, you gotta get bit."
yeah. Hell, I wouldn't have done it. I don't care if it's defanged. I don't care anything. Uh.
I ain't letting a snake bite me. Mm-mm.
No. I mean that's commitment. You got. I mean that is commitment, and it's weird too for early '90s. Like it's a little graphic for '90s television.
Yeah,
Like
trying to push the envelope as far as they can.
yeah. I was always a Savage guy. I've always loved Randy
Oh, I'm a
Savage.
I'm a big fan of Savage. I'm a big fan of Randy. Every once in a while, somebody will catch me talking like him. So
Oh yeah, this is where Elizabeth runs down. So this has got to be like this is how it's starting, or is this a video package? Like I can't tell because I'm not listening to the commentary. So, but Elizabeth, she's not in the Hall of Fame, right? That's weird.
well, it's because of
Circumstances.
all the circumstances and stuff surrounding her death. I mean, it's the same reason Lex Luger won't probably ever be in the WWE Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And I mean, somebody made the comment. I mean, you're in that chat. Somebody made the comment that he should be. And I mean, if we're gonna put Lex in for what he did for the business, then you got to put Benoit in
Yeah.
for what he did for the business. And
Yeah.
I'll die on that hill. I will die on that hill.
It's that separating. Can you separate the business from reality? I mean, we do it with people do it with NFL players all the time. Like
Yep. Look at OJ.
it's another thing. Yeah.
I mean, does Vince McMahon get to go into the Hall of Fame?
Oh, that's a very, 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 very good question. Yeah, if they put Vince in, anybody can go in. Sorry,
All I'm saying is if Vince can get into the fucking Hall of Fame, there shouldn't be
everybody.
anybody. There shouldn't be anybody that's not.
Nope.
Hell, Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame.
I'm surprised he's not. I'm surprised he's not in the and like. I mean, he did like what? There's 3 years straight of just getting tombstone by Kane.
Yeah.
Dang, they are selling this like crazy. Like Piper's in there, Jake's just in the ring chilling with the snake. Randy's falling off the gurney. Kids are crying in the crowd. This is awesome. this close up on a kid, and he's just like
bawling his eyes out. Well, it was before the curtain got pulled back then.
yeah. I mean, his arm. I mean, and they're making sure that Randy holds his arm up. You see blood coming down his arm. They're rushing back. So, yeah, that was just a video package. So the pay per view opens with just a full recap video, and then President Jack Tunney jumping on screen. Jack Tunney. Hey, we're gonna make you a on-screen president of the company, but really you got no power. Like you
None.
you get nothing.
None. It's like JJ Dillon.
Yeah. Man, I remember JJ. I mean, always like he's just the face of the championship committee in WCW. Like, oh, we need a match announced. Parade JJ out there.
Yep. He ain't got no real power. He's just a spokesman.
Yep. He can talk. People know him.
He's a puppet. Almost said something super political. I kept my mouth shut on that one.
So Tunney, this is where Tunney says that he's banning Jake from having any reptiles or animals around the ring. I'm like, I don't remember that happening.
My bad.
Oh, you're cool. Oh, and banning Jake from Survivor Series.
Right.
Okay.
So I'm not caught up. They officially announced Randy
For here? Oh.
for Survivor Series this year?
Um,
for War Games? Did they officially announce him? Because I've seen
it was. People are trying to argue like, no, it's just a tease because it's really going to be Punk, and I'm like, they literally say the Apex Predator. He goes, Cody says something about somebody that I have a legacy with, like, but they never. But I will say this: he never says Randy Orton.
Yeah, did you see WWE put up the new hoodie though?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not a fan. However, I'm waiting to see what they have for Black Friday deals tomorrow because I want that Let Me In shirt.
Yeah. Same.
I want that fucking shirt. I need two. I need one for this room, and I need one to be able to fucking wear.
Did you see the clip? It was right after where Cody said all that, and you see Jay at the holding the ropes, and his face of like, oh crap, it's Randy Orton. Because one of the last things Randy did, the Usos took him out. So
right. No, I hadn't seen anything. We're not caught up. We were because Disney's. I don't know if you have Disney Plus, but Disney Plus is going up to like $140 a year.
Yep.
So we spent the week finishing Loki. So I didn't watch wrestling at all this week. Tomorrow I'm going to be bowed up. So there's a good chance I'm not going to see anything tomorrow either.
Yeah.
So then Saturday for Survivor Series, I'm just going to be like, huh?
You'll get recap videos and everything. Did you see that AEW is doing
I did see that
3-hour collision?
You talk about grasping for straws.
Seriously.
Did you see that? Did you see the meme for what Edge's show in Toronto, his last show in WWE, where the crowd was packed?
Oh, and his
first show in AEW, where how it started, how it's going to end. I mean, I love the way they've done the face paint thing and how he's going to be the guy to kind of ride next to Sting on the way out. But
yeah, I do not remember Sister Sherry or Sensational Sherry ever being tied to DiBiase. Mouth.
I don't know. That's a little out of my foreplay.
Yeah. Like, I mean, this is tradition. Oh, there's Harvey Wippleman, the Warlord. So yeah, I mean, it's starting out. I mean, 91. I mean, it's mostly about the actual Survivor Series matches when they actually mean something. But this is big DiBiase time. He's wearing the $1 million belt, coming out in the tuxedo-looking gear and the Fink. Man, I miss the Fink.
Miss the Fink, man. You talk about an iconic voice.
Yeah. I need to send it to you. See if I can find it again. Oh, here comes Flair with Perfect's like, I'm not dressing up. I'm in a tracksuit. Um, there's a video and somebody interviewed Taker about Sting retiring, and it's Taker's like just kind of talking about he deserves all the accolades he's gotten. I mean, it's a great little bit of business that he does. He doesn't ever mention like, yeah, I hate we never got the match, but he's like, I hope retirement's everything that you wish it for. I hope you have a good way out. It's just a nice interview, and I'm like, that's cool for Taker to do that.
Hell yeah, yeah. Send it to me. I saw a quote of him talking about Wyndham, talking about
Yes, I did too.
how his light was cut off way too soon. Yeah. So
And he says that he will never reveal what he whispered in his ear
yep,
that time. He's like, that's between us, and it's now gone with us. So
yep.
damn, Peacock still has it where it's the WCW belt is censored off of the pay-per-view. And it's a poor censor too. It's just a big black blurb. Like, it's not pixelated. It's nothing. It's a black circle.
Wow.
Yeah, I just don't. I mean, I wasn't what Bret Hart coming out. I remember the pink tights. I don't remember the pink jacket. Yeah, I wasn't watching WWE at this time.
I took a booking for St. Patty's Day today.
Where are you coming to North Carolina? Tell me you're coming to North Carolina.
No.
Okay.
No. It's here in Houston. Get to run into a tag team tournament. It looks like so.
Cool. Did you see that Dax released this is his top 10 tag teams of all time?
No,
List?
I didn't see it.
The Dudleys are not on it, and I'm like, how do you leave the Dudleys off?
Who's number one for him?
Let me see if I can find it. See if I can find this. Okay, so we got Brett's side. Brett's team is Brett, Virgil. Who else is coming out right now? British Bulldog. Oh, this was long braids, flag wearing Bulldog. Okay.
The Evan Courageous look.
Yes. Yes. Dax Harwood. Somebody they're popping for really loud. Piper.
Deserved.
Love Piper. Love freaking Piper.
I didn't quite give Piper the respect back then that I do now.
I mean, I was watching him more when he got to WCW, so he was a little bit older. He was overweight.
But the man, you talk about giving somebody, just give him a live mic. Just let him go.
Yeah, that's all you need to do. But going back and watching, him and Brett at Mania for the IC title was great. Him and Hogan, I mean, the early WrestleManias. All right, so this is Dax's top 10. Number one is Midnight Express. Number 2 is Arn and Tully. 3 is Road Warriors. 4 is Rock and Roll Express. 5 is Heart Foundation. 6 is Edge and Christian. 7 is Hardy Boys. 8 is the Briscoes. 9 is the British Bulldogs. And then 10 is Gene and Ole Anderson.
Damn.
And he's like, sincerely, half of the greatest working tag team on the planet.
Arn and Tully, you say was number 1?
Arn and Tully was number 2. Midnight Express was number 1.
Midnight Express. I mean,
it's a great list. It's a great list,
but you want to talk about when you say tag team wrestling, the first tag team wrestling team that comes to mind in anybody who's watched anywhere from the 70s up, Road Warriors are number 1.
Yeah.
Number two could always be a toss up for me. Man,
I'm just a huge Dudley Boys fan, and
I'm a Dudley's fan. I wouldn't put him at two. For me, I remember the Steiners.
yeah. Oh man, I forgot. I didn't even think about Steiners. They're not even on this list.
Left the Steiners off. Harlem Heat left the Harlem Heat off.
Yeah.
And we're talking like that. That's what they were. That was their bread and butter. They weren't doing any singles. Heart Foundation was doing singles.
Yeah. And
Now,
that's the time too that he would be watching because he's around our age. Like Dax is. I mean, he would be watching that WCW. I mean, that when the Harlem Heat's there, and that's interesting. Yeah, those are ones. But yeah, the Steiners being off is weird. I hadn't thought about the Steiners.
but I wonder if it's because of all the controversy over between the two guys. You know, the Steiners. Rick pretty much got himself canceled. That's funny though, because the internet's not real. So how do you
No,
really cancel somebody?
I know. Piper laying one on Sherry and being Piper. I saw the Rick Steiner figure that just came out at Walmart the other day, and I was like, damn, I kind of want that just because it's him in the jacket that says "Bite Me" has um the little like car, emblems that were on the silver ones on the top of the shoulders. Like he's wearing that. I think it's when he did the opposite of Scott, where he had the blonde dye right here.
Middle, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I want that figure. Like that's the dog face gremlin.
Yep. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it. I'm looking for my top dollar figures right now. I want that AJ Francis before you can't find it anymore.
I'll be on the lookout
I, I'm curious. I'm curious to see what he's going to do once the non-competes up.
Especially, I mean, he's gotten himself in fantastic shape.
Well, I'm still working on trying to figure out Rumble. If I make the Rumble, it'll just be me. It won't be Ali too. It'll just be me. Just because kids and
yeah,
tickets and just trying to figure it all out.
Well, I know Will said we're going to order them sometime in December because we're going to buy them as a group, which makes them a little cheaper, and that way we're all together.
Well, I know Vince is trying to. Vince had reached out to me way before we had all talked about possibly meeting up too. So trying to figure out everything there too.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also going to try and see if anybody's running that weekend. So if I can get down, say they're running on a Friday, I can get there on a Thursday.
Check Jacksonville too, because I mean that's where most of us are going to be for the night before is Jacksonville.
So, well, I'm getting ready to hop off, Bubba.
All right, man. It was good seeing you. Happy Thanksgiving. Man.
Happy Turkey Genocide Day, bro. Love you, man.
Yeah, love you too, man. Have a good night. This is Bionic Silverback Nate Slater, ladies and gentlemen. If you do not follow him on TikTok, any social media, find that man. I love that dude to death. Glad to see him being back in the ring. But right now, we are in the first match of the night still, Survivor Series match. Still in the match, we got the Mountie, the Warlord, Ric Flair, and Ted DiBiase versus, let's see, Bret the Hitman Hart, Virgil, Roddy Piper, and the British Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith. A lot of Hall of Famers in this. A lot of Hall of Famers. Flair coming in. Flair in WWE. It's always a weird thing. It's always a weird. Flair being Flair. And it's weird. You hear talks about like the WWE crowd not giving a crap about Flair. But I mean, the crowd's definitely reacting to him here. Davey Boy had such a big push and just never got that world title. Flair doing that fall over and over and over again. I mean, he knew when to be a character. He knew when to be serious and be the technician and the wrestler. Anybody else ever notice like when Flair does that back bump, he never lands flat. He lands on that side on the side slightly. It's like the only one I've ever noticed that does that. Here comes Hot Rod. Yeah, like Nate said, Silverback. I mean, Roddy Piper. Give that man a microphone, but I mean, can work in ring and just wild in the ring, which was fun. It was different. It's a really good crowd. It's a really, really good crowd. I didn't see exactly where they were. I can look that up. Bobby the Brain Heenan leaning into that real world champion gimmick. The Warlord. I know that name. I just don't remember this. Putting in the two guys that are pretty, the muscle guys, the Warlord and Davy Boy Smith here. The Mountie. Such an interesting. I mean, this was. Everybody talks about the gimmicks with the. Everybody talks about the gimmicks with the '90s with like the Goon and Duke the Dumpster, but I mean, you had the Mountie here. This is that weird in between before we start getting into like the '80s was. It's like the '80s had you know identities and people. Then we get kind of the occupations, and then we go back to being people again, and it's a weird mixture. Brett being Brett and delivering. I'm a Bret Hart fan. Sorry, y'all. I know most people aren't, but yeah, it's so weird. Like this was that time period where Survivor Series matches actually meant something. Like actually meant something. British Bulldog was one I was a fan of. Like even though I was watching WCW mostly, I had my eyes over here, and like I always thought British Bulldog was like I was like he was one of the few like muscle guys that I was into. I was like maybe because he could work. Bulldog no selling Flair, Flair being the classic heel, backing up, begging off, and then kicks him to the gut. Bobby, gotta love Bobby. Bulldog just destroying everybody. Oh, running power slam to the Mountie. Flair off top. Chaos in the ring. Oh, Bulldog's gone. Bulldog's eliminated by Flair. Kicked him in the back of the head with the knee off the top rope. Now we got Piper in. Team of heels and a team of faces. Ted DiBiase is somebody that doesn't get enough love. Like, great character, great mouthpiece. Just heels being heels and doing heel tactics outside of the ring. Flair and Roddy. I always enjoyed that rolling knee jump that Flair did. Like, it was just cool. It was different. It's weird to look back on this with like Virgil, like they're trying to make him seem like he's legitimate, like a legitimate threat and everything. And then, as we've seen over the years, like he's become like a laughing point in the world of wrestling, which I don't want anybody to be a laughing point anywhere, but it's kind of cool though because like you've got like because they're trying to be like the ultimate survivors, and you've got heels and babyface both trying to come in the ring, and the refs having to like get out like to help get the advantage. Like even the baby faces are doing slightly heel tactic things. DiBiase and Piper. Everybody gonna do the figure four today? Everybody's doing the figure four in this match, it seems like. Or at least working everybody up so Flair can do the figure four. And again, guys, I hope you guys are having a great Thanksgiving. Hope you guys have eaten a lot of food. One thing from World Championship Records tomorrow, brand new show debuts. I'm not going to tell you what it is yet. I'm excited about it. The first episode is with me, but it's going to be from other creators too. So, comes Virgil. Wow, that was a great crowd reaction for Virgil. I don't know. Heenan over here being like Flair talking about Flair being the captain of the team, but I don't know. Anytime I see a Survivor Series match, I think DiBiase. Like when I think Survivor Series, like not the pay per view, but the actual match type, I think DiBiase because he was always involved in them. Like the heels are all backing down from Virgil, which is so weird. And the Warlord's just standing there. Big power slam from Ted DiBiase. Wow. Oh, I say that, and here comes the Warlord. It's like if Goldberg and Scott Steiner had a baby. It's weird with Brett. Wait, this is 91. We still had Brett for what? Another 6 years before he was gone to WCW. And other than, we get that 97 heel run with the Hart Foundation, but nothing with his presentation ever changed. Oh, Warlord's gone. I guess the heels getting the advantage, just like in War Games without having the cage, but it's a really good match though. Like I'm enjoying this. Sorry, y'all, if I'm not talking that much because I've never seen this, but um, right now it's back to being Roddy and DiBiase, which is a fun Virgil again. Like they are really making Virgil seem like the workhorse here. Like Brett hasn't even had that much time in the match. It seems like compared to Virgil. I'm excited about this year's Survivor Series. Anything? Oh, $1 Million Dream on the $1 Million Man, which just to me was always. It's kind of like Joe and the Coquina Clutch. At least like with Joe, like he sometimes will like wrap his legs around you and take you down the ground. The $1 Million Dream, even when Austin did it, like when he came into as the ringmaster, it just was an awkward. It's an awkward looking submission hold. Flair back in. Bobby the Brain Heenan and Gorilla Monsoon on the call. Such a great commentary team together. Like like how Nate said that he wasn't really watching WWE at this time. I wasn't either. Like we were both very much WCW guys. When I would watch WWF, I was a fan of that commentary team. Gorilla Monsoon is up there for me. The Mountie. DiBiase again. DiBiase does a great job as a heel to work the crowd, even in the middle of a match. I know the $1 Million Man character, like, was like supposed to be like Vince, but DiBiase at least, made it bearable watching. I don't know if they were ever like in the run for Flair. In WWF, Flair and DiBiase ever an actual tag team? I just feel like they would work really well together. I just always think of DiBiase with IRS. So we're down to Roddy Piper, Bret Hart, and Virgil against DiBiase, Flair, and the Mountie. Oh, both down. heel and babyface trying to get the tag. We got Flair in. Flair. Oh, I don't know if that was supposed to happen or not. I feel like Flair was supposed to cut off the tag, but Virgil still made it because like Flair bumped into him. So that was awkward. But we got Flair and Roddy now, and Roddy's just going bionic on Flair. I always loved this the poke of the eyes from Roddy. Back in the WCW versus NWO World Tour or Revenge. I don't think Roddy was in World Tour. Actually, I think it was Revenge. You did your special, and it was the poke of the eye, which I always thought was funny. Oh, and all hell's broken loose. We got everybody in the ring fighting. I'm sure this will lead to a distraction or a double team, and that'll be an elimination because that's what both have almost been for the other two. Flair having to do that flip over the top turnbuckle. Did not stick the landing, went out into the floor. Double team, Roddy holding DiBiase and Virgil. Oh, we got a DQ. The bell rang. I'm assuming it's Piper for sending Flair over the top. I don't know. The commentator's doing a great job of. That is a weird call. So the ref disqualified everyone who was battling in the ring and not following his direction, except for the man who was not in the ring, who was the sole survivor, which was Ric Flair. And the only reason he was not in the ring was because he did that flip over the top turnbuckle and ended out in the ring. But now everybody is fighting. The heels are backing off because Piper attacked Flair. So, I mean, I get using the ref and disqualifying one person here, but disqualifying and like everyone else in the match, that's a weird call. That's a weird. That's not. I mean, it's a 36-minute starting match. So different now than what's going on. Ric Flair won, but they're playing Roddy's music and the baby faces are celebrating. So showing Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby is just like celebrating like he won $1 million. He seems so happy too that Flair won. Oh, we're cutting the Mean Gene. Of course, it's Peacock, so I got an ad now because it's in the match. But so, guys, make sure you like and subscribe, and please follow everything that World Championship Wreckage does here. We're on every social media. We're on TikTok. We are on Instagram. There's a Facebook page for us, um, and it's not just my ugly mug that you see on here. Uh, you got great content creators, Husky Rhodes, Mike Duplessis, Bree Stout, all of them from Queen's Court. We've got Bryant Silverback, who you saw earlier. You've got coming soon, Mr. B Roll, alongside of Best Gout Machine and Self Bet Wrestling, talking all things Impact Wrestling. You've got, yes, myself, but you've got the Will Gray from Box Spots and Chair Shots over at Rivet City Radio. We talk everything in pro wrestling, a lot of WCW, but a little bit of everything. Taking a look back, the way the fans remember it. We have got XLJ the OG, who leads us in fantasy warfare so much on this channel, and we try to put out stuff. Holiday time, last couple of weeks with getting settled into the fall and in winter as we head into the holidays has been rough because everybody's been busy, but new stuff coming. But we got Mean Gene back on screen now. Looks like we got Savage coming out, looking only as Savage can. He got we're in cowboy hat phase Savage, and it is my favorite. And he's got a big feather on that thing. I mean, he is purple and neon green. Is all I gotta say is that. I mean, y'all can use your imagination, but like he is being macho man. See what he's got to say. Kind of tame glasses for Randy though. Like they're just like regular sunglasses. Nothing too crazy. It's so funny to me that like if you have the closed caption on, which I'm one of those weird people, like that way in case like my kids are asleep and I need like I want to watch something, at least have a caption on in case I miss something. But like I've got the captions on and they say World Wrestling Federation, but with the captions say World Wrestling Entertainment. Macho Man talking about the living hell that was being bit by that snake, by Jay Snake. I love Jay Snake Roberts. Like it seemed like the perfect heel. So Tuesday in Texas coming up is where they get their blow off match. This is a weird thing to say in the world of wrestling. All reptiles barred from ringside. Such a weird thing to say. I mean, I can just watch promos by Randy Savage forever. It's like forever. Oh, the mention of Elizabeth and the crowd goes wild. They refer to her as the First Lady of Wrestling. It's weird to me. So, personal story. Elizabeth, Elizabeth looks like all of the like my mom's friends. Like when I think back of like what some of my mom's friends looked like when I was a kid, it's Elizabeth. Like the big hair, the makeup. I mean, it's everything. Like it's so funny. Like I look at Elizabeth, I'm like, oh hey, it's Laura. It's so weird though. Like Elizabeth is just so on the mic, not meek, but like she's not very over the top. She's not like she's calm, which I mean I know that's part of the thing. Like Macho Man is at 1,000 and she's level, but I mean She's just always been very like mousy on the mic. That's the best way I can put it. I really would like to know the story though of how the graduation song became his ring entrance music. I love Bobby Brain. I need to know now. So it looks like we're going to another Survivor Series match. I don't know if this one's going to be as good. See who we got coming out. Mustafa, along with Colonel Mustafa and General Adnan. The Berserker? Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Duplessis from Queens Court. What's going on, buddy? Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, fam. How are you doing?
Good, man. So you came in a good time. I can pause it if you want to get caught up. I'm on the second match. It's the start of the second Survivor Series match.
Of the very first Survivor Series ever?
No, I'm doing 91.
Oh, okay.
I would say I'm literally at I pause it. I'm at 44 minutes 27 seconds.
Okay.
They're introducing the heel team, which right now is Colonel Mustafa, the Berserker, and I forget who the rest of them are. I don't think this one. The first one was great. First match was fantastic. First match was
You said 91?
91. Yeah.
All right.
The first match was Bret Hart, Roddy Piper, Virgil, and British Bulldog versus the Mountie, Ric Flair, Ted DiBiase, and the Warlord.
And
that
what's the time?
I am at 44 minutes 27 seconds.
Since the dawn of man, getting up has been hard. So how's your Thanksgiving going?
I've been alone most of the day and resting, so it's been good. Like my family's like since I got to work tomorrow, like they always kind of go out of town. So she's with like my wife and kids are with her parents and everything. So I had a quiet
Where's her
house.
family?
Oh, they're all here. They just go
Oh.
out of town. They take like a weekend trip. So, but I gotta work tomorrow, of course. So
Yeah.
I'm actually looking forward to it. Like it's busy, but it's fun because you blink and your day is over. Like
Yeah.
like it's just a lot of people. It's the only thing.
When I was in my late teens, early 20s, before I was doing any kind of social media stuff and didn't have a life, I hung out at my local mall, and I had friends who worked at Hot Topic and like a bunch of other stores, and I would just hang out there, especially on Black Friday, because I would just love to watch how busy it was.
This is my first one in this mall, so I'm curious. Like
you can start.
Okay.
All
right. So Hercules, that's who's coming in. Hercules literally just entered the ring. Is where I'm at.
Literally good place to stop it, or that was great. Okay. Oh, Von Erich.
That's right. It is a Von Erich.
Carrie.
Yep.
I can't wait for that movie to come out.
Same. The movie looks great. Yeah, we're live.
Oh, dope.
Oh. We've had people kind of trickling in. Nate jumped on with me for a little bit at the beginning, then had to go, and it'd been me. Oh, yeah, the Texas I forget that they just refer to him as the Texas Tornado, not
Yeah, and then carries on the back.
yeah.
You see, and that's where I get offended. Especially since we're going through like early 93 Raw. Tito charged Santana getting just
El Matador.
it's like that's offensive. We're talking about a
Oh.
legend who was like a multiple time IC champion in your company. We're gonna just give him a Mexican bull gimmick.
Yeah. I mean, they at least say El Matador and then say his name most of the time.
Sometimes they do. In '93, they sometimes say his name. It's like,
Oh, Hacksaw Jim Duggan
him.
and Sergeant Slaughter.
This is right before the gimmick change for Slaughter.
Oh, this is right. That's right.
Because that comes
92.
Yeah.
92 is Hogan and Slaughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that was like the height of the golf.
I remember that. When I was as a kid, the only I grew up watching WCW stuff. The only WWF stuff I had most of the Manias on VHS. So I didn't know a lot of the people, but I would still watch them. Like that's how I got to know who they were. So, but I don't know. I don't have a good feeling compared to the first match with these people compared to the Berserker. It's like, hey, it's Daniel Bryan's dad.
Yeah.
Furry boots and his big beard.
We're on the show. We're close to getting into '93 Survivor Series.
Yeah, you guys just did SummerSlam. That was a good one with XLJ. That was a great episode.
In '93's Survivor Series has got, in my opinion, one of the worst gimmick Survivor Series matches.
Which one?
It's the Fanatic Foreigners versus Team USA.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's weird to see Sergeant Slaughter with so much hair. I mean, he still was losing his hair, but I'm not. They panned over to him like, Sarge.
Yeah.
I always forget that he was a world champion too.
Yeah, during that horrible anti-USA gimmick.
I know, but he was a world champion. Like nobody mentions Sergeant Slaughter as a world champion.
No, he doesn't get speaking about. But I feel like that's the case for like a lot of late '80s, early '90s, because I always forget that Savage won it
in the tournament. Yeah, WrestleMania 4.
I was like, oh yeah, that did happen.
And it took him forever in WCW to win it. Like he didn't win it till World War III, 95.
Yeah. See, and we're also getting to the episode of Raw where he is like, Vince announces that he's gone.
Oh yeah,
that's gonna be.
Bree's gonna cry.
Yeah, I'm gonna cry watching that episode.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember watching that for the first time when I was a kid, and I was like, oh, Vince's face is so sad during that.
Dang. Tito just flying around the ring. What's the other guy's name? The guy he's fighting right now? Skinner? Is that his name?
Yeah, Skinner.
That's right.
Which is based on a real life job.
Yeah.
Because he actually was a gator fighter when he was in college. It's really funny. I actually have a packed house right now.
Oh, really? Total opposite here, man.
We hosted Thanksgiving this year because of the new house, and everyone's in my living room. And I was like, I'm going to go see my friend Justin because he has no one with him. So I'm going to go chill with him for a minute.
I'm used to it, man. Like, plus, I mean, Thanksgiving to me, I mean, I live in the South, so to me, Thanksgiving food is I can literally get it
Yeah, anywhere. No,
anytime.
as somebody who's like has Louisiana, history, I totally get you.
Yeah, yeah. I will say though, I'm sad that I didn't get any stuffing. Like, that I'm like should have bought a box of stuffing just to make stuffing, but wow, Berserker got some air. Yeah, I was like, I'll start early. I'll watch one, and then I might do another one tomorrow after I get off work. It just depends on how tired I am. So like, watch a different one. I thought about doing the one with the Montreal Screwjob, just because I'm like, I don't know if I've ever seen that full pay per view other than the main event.
I think I've seen it. Well, I think I've watched it like one time. When I mean, especially during the COVID era, when I was just locked in that facility, it was a lot of watching the WWE Network and making TikToks.
Mm-hmm. I just don't remember Hercules. I remember this late '80s, early '90s. I was talking about it earlier. Late '80s, early '90s was this weird like, okay, we got your real characters, you got your people, and then you got these
Yeah, your cartoons.
and the cart mixed with the cartoons. Then we go into the
93 to 95, where it's all cartoons.
and occupations.
Yeah.
And that. And then it's like, okay, now we get the real people again. It's like it's this weird transit. I don't know. Because like here, like you had like in the first match, I was like, you've got your Bret Hart, your Ted DiBiase, your Ric Flair, the people.
Yeah.
And then you've got who's next to them? The Mountie.
Yeah. No, trust me. So in the episode we're filming on Sunday, the Quebecers are a thing.
Oh, the Quebecers.
With a one Johnny Polo.
Oh, Johnny Polo.
And then I think not this one, but the next episode they have a Steve Lombardi as the baseball character.
Oh yeah, the Brooklyn Brawler.
Yeah. But he's his baseball character and his face paint's a baseball and he's like a catcher.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, it's one of his multiple gimmicks he did in the early 90s. It is.
I thought the Brooklyn Brawler was a baseball gimmick because he comes out in a Yankees hat.
No, he's just supposed to be a New York bomb.
No, okay. I just kind of always thought it was a baseball dude because he's wearing a ripped Yankees shirt or a Yankees hat and.
No, so that's like him taking a shot at the homelessness in New York and just it being nasty. Yeah.
I wonder how those like boots felt from Colonel Mustafa because they've got like it's almost like elf shoes where they've got little.
Yeah, the pokes.
Yeah, like I wonder how those feel getting kicked by. I'm excited about Saturday Survivor Series.
Oh, I'm so happy we're doing a watch along for that.
So I'll probably do the pre-show too. I mean, what else am I doing?
I mean, if you need someone, I'm here. I ain't doing crap.
Yeah.
So,
like literally Saturday, all I'm doing is because I'm off Saturday. Like I work tomorrow and then I'm off Saturday, Sunday, which is nice. I'm literally gonna do laundry. That's all I'm doing Saturday.
Yeah, I'm gonna be watching college football until Survivor Series.
Yeah.
Like, I'm excited for the UW WSU game and then Ohio State, Michigan.
I thought about doing, but I didn't. I mean, it would be so last minute doing a subathon for us because I mean I'm off Saturday, Sunday, and like after I get off work, just start and beyond until like through Survivor Series. Like that's like right over 24 hours. But I'm like, this is the one time, and I don't know how long that I got my house to myself. I get to sleep uninterrupted. I'm like, no.
Get your sleep.
I'm gonna sleep. I literally like after dropping them off at her parents this morning, I got back to the house at about 9:30. I slept from like 9:30 until about 1:30 this afternoon. It was wonderful.
When you said you were going to do this, I was like, I'm shocked he's not just sleeping and like resting without the kids.
Well, that's why I started early because literally I can. After this, I'm like, I mean, this will be. Let's see. Hold on.
It's true.
It's got an hour and a half left, so I mean, it'll be 10. I'll literally go to sleep like
right away.
yeah.
How my nephew's doing, by the way.
Good man. Good. I mean, little one has learned to crawl up steps now, so that's scary.
Wait until he gets to start walking, and well, you have the first one,
Yeah.
and opening up everything.
Oh no, he's trying. He's trying. He's doing everything. Everybody says that the second one does stuff sooner than the than the first one, and I agree. Like the second one is doing everything before the first one ever did it.
That's hilarious.
He's also the more dominant one of the two. Like I've walked, like I'll have them in the playroom, and I'm like I'll be like making the older one's bed or whatever, and I walk back by, and then the little one's like tackled the oldest one, and like he's pinned him, and I'm like, what?
This is what you get for naming him Canyon of all things.
Oh yeah. Give him a wrestling name, and he takes to it like a duck to water. But we got another special guest coming in, the host of Fantasy Warfare from Cole TV, XLJ the OG.
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing?
Good. Happy Thanksgiving, brother.
I feel like
Happy
I've seen a
Thanksgiving.
lot of you recently, XLJ, and I'm not mad at it.
Same here, brother. Been a lot of that time. We've spent the majority of it talking about cream pies. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Just saying, especially on
so great.
days like today. So I hope you guys both got some good cream pie today. I'm just
No,
I slept.
we haven't had dessert yet, but
I slept, man.
I'm having apple pie. Is apple
Oh,
pie?
that's cool.
Mike, do you want to pause where we are so we can tell XLJ where we are?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So 91, right?
Yeah, 91. I'm at 57 minutes 29 seconds.
Okay, 57-29.
Should be
Wait.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan and the Berserker in the ring together.
This matchup. Yes, this was kind of like I think I'm there. 57-30. I'm there.
Yep. Let's go. I was telling Mike, like, because I watched pretty much the first match mostly by myself, just talking about different things on here. And it was Bret Hart, Piper, Virgil, and British Bulldog versus DiBiase, Flair, the Mountie, and Hercules. Not Hercules, the Warlord. Yeah, and I was like, that match was great. Other than the weird finish where literally the ref disqualifies everybody except for the one person not in the ring, and it was Flair.
Yeah.
I was like, that's a weird finish.
Yeah, I will say this though, for WWE back in the day, it was very unique. You didn't see that like a whole lot. It was kind of cut or dry. So I always felt like this one was just like, okay, we're just got to get all these singles guys on the card. So we're just going to put 4 babyface against 4 heels, essentially.
That's pretty much what it was. That's pretty much.
I was watching, I think, the second Survivor Series the other day, and they had like the 10-man like tag team match, and that was a lot of people, but I really liked it because the whole team got eliminated once one guy got eliminated.
Yeah, that's a crazy sight to see. Like, pretty much like it's like a 20-man battle royal, essentially. Only like you got everybody. It's like a regular tag match. It's crazy.
Yeah. I was like
they did that the first 2 Survivor. First 2 Survivor Series. I think they did that type of match.
The big thing we're building towards here is the Tuesday in Texas, like blow off with Savage and Roberts.
Yeah, a lot of people. I think that's the biggest gripe on this one is people feel like it's just like a hype package for Tuesday in Texas, essentially. But I mean, this is a fun Survivor Series for me. Like, I just go back to as a kid, and I remember mainly the storyline with Jake the Snake and the Macho Man. That's like one of the first real kind of stories I remember as a kid, and just being like scared shitless, like with
That's
Jake.
the snake bite, right?
Yeah, that was crazy. That's still
That's
crazy
how
to
this-
see this day.
That's how this pay-per-view opened, with the video package.
yeah.
Of that.
Mhm.
Like, it didn't open
Yeah.
with like, it was a full clip of what happened. I'm like, because I was like, this isn't part of the pay-per-view. This was
I read an article the other day that Miss Elizabeth's family was traumatized by that and like cussed out McMahon and them.
Really? Okay.
Because like I guess Elizabeth like invited her family there, and they weren't
Oh.
told everything.
Jeez, can you imagine like going to a show like, what is this?
Yeah.
It's startling. You know, the thing I remember most about this Survivor Series is this is kind of like the Survivor Series of what ifs, because there were so many different matches that kind of got shuffled around. I mean, including this one too, because I can't remember if it was Slaughter wasn't supposed to be on the team or one of the other guys, but originally Jim the Anvil Neidhart was supposed to be in this, which I think I say on color on this too. They talked about how Jim Neidhart was supposed to be in this match. And then on the other team, I remember seeing in the advertisements, like reading through the WWF magazine. And Michael, you probably remember this guy. I can't think of his name, but it was like he never really like had. I don't think it was ever on a pay-per-view. Like the guy used to wear like the gangster hat, and he had this mustache. What was that guy's name? Bully something or other.
Yes, I know who you're talking about because he was a failure. He was. They put him with Slick, I think.
And Whippleman managed him too, didn't they?
Yeah, Whippleman.
Mm-hmm.
And it was
But he was supposed to
just
be
called the Bully.
Or was it just the Bully? Maybe that's it. Well, he was supposed to be on the heel side of this, and then they plugged in, I think, Hercules or something. But yeah, this was like, and also too. Oh no, that was the year prior. So never mind. I was thinking like this was one of the first times where like the whole team like won the match. But
yeah, because I think that's literally just what happened.
Wait, what's that? I literally looked at my phone. What happened?
They eliminated them all.
Like back to back, like boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Like I literally looked at my phone and looked back, and they're celebrating.
Yeah, that's all that was.
Back.
Oh,
all right.
Yeah, it was the whole team. Like nobody from the babyface team got eliminated.
Yep.
So XLJ, I know y'all are going to Mania.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm gonna need y'all to save so y'all can come down to the Rumble too.
It's been on my mind. It's definitely been on my mind for sure. I would love. So are you actually going? I thought I had heard you were talking about. So are you legit going to the Rumble?
I don't have tickets yet. We're waiting. We're gonna like Will, myself, Self Bet, Jax, Bree.
Shayna's going, right?
I believe so. Yes. Like
Yeah.
we're all gonna buy them as a package together, so we can at least be sitting together. Because last year, like when John and Nate and like Jax went, they were all
Separate.
Sporadically,
like throughout the arena. So like that way we can kind of be together. But yeah, like,
dude, doing it that way, it's so much better. Like we got lucky at All Out because really it was really just CDC. MJ and B-Roll and I had the tickets together, and then like our section we just so happened to be in. Like Spicy was able to come over because nobody sat like in our row, and then Hambone came over and sat with us too. So like it's a pretty badass experience, like watching like a big show like with these people who you've known for.
yeah.
You know, a while on TikTok and finally meeting them in person and watching a real show. It's pretty fucking cool, man. So
I think it would be cool just for you, so you can see like you. I mean, you get to experience the road to WrestleMania. You get to go to the Rumble, then to the fallout of the Rumble. So
I'll go to Australia for Elimination Chamber. Who cares?
Did you see XLJ? Did you see my video I made about what's happening during WrestleMania week?
Defy is doing that one of the shows with GCW. Yeah, that's gonna be dope.
I guess they announced that during the 2 shows they just did here in Seattle.
Can we talk about the outfit that Jake Roberts is wearing right now?
Oh, I know. It looks like he just came from like fucking like he's got the pants like he's gonna go party later, and then the sweater is totally like
Dad.
Like, he just came from Thanksgiving dinner.
Boots for me.
Well, it's all of it combined. That's my funny.
That is all right. We have a few of those issues on 93 Raw when wrestlers are doing interviews, and it's just like this is awkward to watch because the outfits are so crazy.
The thing
But
though, like Jake with the full head of hair and being in shape, he looks like a dangerous man.
Yes.
Yeah, like with the sweater, I keep thinking he's just wanting to scratch his chest incessantly.
Yeah. He's like, I shaved my chest for a reason. Like,
It's like, all right, honey, I'll come take the J.C. Penney picture with you, but you better give me some derby later. Like, fuck, okay, Jake.
If you think this head of hair makes him look threatening, you should watch Jake the Snake in Mid South.
oh yeah.
Oh yeah. You know, let's face facts. Jake the Snake has one of the most underappreciated like hairstyles, and with that mustache too, dude.
Late 80s, early 90s bullets are the greatest thing in wrestling history.
Because it's not just the mustache; it's the fact that he's got the points that go down.
Yeah.
Bullets in wrestling in the 80s and 90s are so great.
This was the best of times, the worst of times. That was really the best of times.
I don't know.
We had a segment.
Y'all come to North Carolina, you can see mullets left and right all day, every day.
I don't want to live in that kind of life. No, I'm good. But we had a segment on a Raw on Queen's Court, and it was like Kurt Hennig, Diesel, Shawn, and someone else, and they all had mullets. Which was like, this is a lot of mullet wear. I don't know how I feel about it.
It's like the typical outfit from that time frame. It should be like the black and white Subas pants. You know, you've got the fanny pack, of course, and the pencil thin cut Ico Pro shirts, like the muscle shirt. That's the typical outfit.
They sell Zubaz pants on Amazon, and I get so eager to buy some.
Oh shit! I will totally buy me some Subas pants. Hell yeah!
I saw a pair of Saints Zubaz pants on Amazon the other day, and I was like, "Oh, I really want to get these."
But yeah, you and B-roll just need to look at the Rumble. Like ticket, you can still get tickets for like $120. Like,
really, that's not bad.
Then you guys just gotta get there.
I got a buddy who I think he's about an hour out of Tampa, so I may have to say something to him.
You know what also is the great thing about watching early 90s Raws? Is you get the horrible don't do drugs, anti-drug commercials where 95% of those wrestlers are all messed up.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Like, watching Jake the Snake Roberts doing an anti-drug commercial now, knowing what he was in the 80s, is literally the greatest thing in the world.
It's like, don't do drugs, kid. Am I done here? Do you guys remember Tuesday in Texas?
Vaguely.
I was not born.
Oh shit! Yeah, that's right. So I just remember it like so kind of going back to talking about the Survivor Series of like these matches that were switching around. So you got your match that was supposed to have Jake as the team captain and Macho as the other team captain. Well, originally that was supposed to be Jake's team, which would have been IRS and Natural Disasters, but they would have been going against Sid Justice. It was like Sid Justice with LOD and the Big Boss Man. But they made up some storyline, but I can't remember if Sid got suspended in real life or got hurt or something happened. And then they kind of started in with this storyline with Macho Man wanting to get reinstated back in the WWF. So this right here, though, this is the matchup of the show by far.
What, Hogan and Flair?
No, Hogan and Taker.
Oh yeah, Hogan and Taker.
Yeah.
So, question. So again, I was not watching WWF at this time. I was more of a WCW guy. And I know, like in the main event, the outcome because they use it for everything on every Undertaker video because Flair comes down with the chair. But like, was Flair being interjected here and in the main event? Was it literally just to tease like they were hopefully building towards that match? Is that the only reason why? Like, why?
Yeah, they
Flair...
were teasing for a Flair Taker match.
No, I meant like Flair Hogan.
Flair Hogan.
Oh yeah, Flair Hogan. Yeah, they were
like,
teasing for that.
Oh yeah, I think that was the big buildup. Was going to be the big blow off WrestleMania.
Yeah, because they were doing Hogan. They were doing Hogan Flair matches at live events.
Yeah, and the rumor is that it just wasn't being received well, so that's why they changed the plans for WrestleMania.
Yeah, fans were booing them at live events, and you don't see that often.
I remember this too, as well as this part too. Just seeing the pixels on TV, and I was
the blurring job.
Yeah. Well, I mean, purposely done too, because it's like everybody already knows it's the WCW title. Which it still blows my mind. You think about this to like the shit they were doing back then. Like, man, that was so crazily ahead of its time.
Mm-hmm.
But I just remember this.
I was say they ain't censoring it right now where he's kicking him. Yeah, they're like, oh, like 30 seconds too late. Now he's holding up both belts.
It's like, oh well, oh yeah, we probably should censor that again. My bad.
Piper, I love me some Piper.
Oh yeah.
Savage running out here looks like he's already in the NWO.
Yeah. It's so weird too. Like I remember this image a lot as a kid too.
What up, Will?
What up, Will?
Happy Thanksgiving.
Will. Happy Thanksgiving. Oh yeah, Taker no selling the chair shots.
Look how big his arms are. Like this is like peak Taker, like the best shape. Like, he is jacked.
This is like pre-tattooed Taker, and it's weird.
Oh, I hadn't even thought about that.
Yeah, he's just got the one on like his inside. Yeah, his forearm.
Yeah.
The image of ripping up the sacred Hulk Hogan jewelry and throwing it on top of him.
How many times has that been done?
You want to know weird picture?
See, Bree would have loved to watch this one because it's in Michigan.
Yeah, this is at the Joe Louis Arena.
Yeah.
And
I
go ahead.
Found a picture the other day of Taker and Scott working as a take team in Japan.
Wait, we're getting. What up, Jax?
What's up, Jaxie?
We're getting Taker Hogan now, not the main event.
Yeah, you would think that way they would save that up for last, but no, it was like in the middle of the show. But I think obviously it's because of the finish. Because we got to send the kids home happy.
What was it earlier? Oh, they were showing that pre-show package of like Macho getting bit by the snake, and you just see this. They zoom in on this kid's face, and I mean, he is bald.
Yeah.
Like that is still back in the wrestling's real to me, damn it, age.
Yeah, there's a lot of great facial reactions this time frame too, kids. Like you think with Taker, and oh my God, you're gonna see like this one kid. I think he's got like beach blonde spiked hair, and he is bawling his eyes out after the finish of this match.
You don't get that in '93. They try to pant kids, and they no-so that shit.
Yeah,
2 years. I mean, 2 years, a lot changes.
They are no-selling shit like none other.
Can we just compare Hogan and Cena for a second? For Hogan, they do that long pan towards the entrance where he comes out. Cena comes out, and it's the long pan as he runs to the ring. Same thing, same character.
Different side. It's funny you say that. I never really even thought about that.
It just hit me. What, Jax? What's up? What's up?
What, Ginger?
I always like the red bandana more than the yellow.
Never really thought about it, but yeah, the red does slap.
Of course you're high.
But
That's
still, at the end of the day, fuck
surprising.
Terry.
Of course. I assume that.
Ginger, we know you're high 24/7. That's like me coming in here and saying, "Hey, guess what? I'm in a wheelchair." My God.
That's messed up.
Oh, love you, buddy.
I remember having one of the early figures. Like I had WWF toys, even though I didn't watch it that much, and I had a Hogan, and it had the rips on the back of the
Oh
jersey,
yeah.
tank top and everything.
It's funny because it's like I'm not a Hogan fan now, obviously, and I haven't liked him for years. But I mean, the time frame when I grew up, he's the very first wrestler I honestly remember. Because I mean, it was like Hulk Hogan was like shoved down your throat as a kid.
Yeah.
Like,
See,
I mean, I had like a 12-inch. Like now, I'm talking when I'm like about 2 or 3 years old. I had like a
Well-
12-inch Hulk Hogan like doll or something like that with the shirt that ripped off and stuff.
and
Yeah.
that's where I kind of feel like that I was kind of screwed when it comes to when I started watching wrestling and that I'm not older. Because when I started watching in 96, 97, like Hogan was doing the NWO thing. And I was just like, this dude's corny as hell. Like, I couldn't get that whole I like Hulk Hogan thing. Because I just couldn't stand this guy from the start.
I was always more of a Savage fan than
Like,
Yep.
like when I would watch WCW as a kid, I was like, I like Shawn or I like Scott, Kevin, and Six way more than I'm liking Hogan. Like
well.
Hogan was so corny to me.
Nash and Hall were real quick to almost put a whole kibosh on the NWO thing. Like when they filmed that first set of vignettes and everything. Like
Nash and
Hogan-
Hall complaining about it sounding like 1993 Memphis.
Yeah, like he's
Love
trying. They're trying to be real, and he's over here doing the "What you talking about, brother?" Like blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Like, it's still weird to me to think like. I don't know. I know Undertaker was around back then, obviously, but to see Hogan and Undertaker, and I don't know, it's so weird. It's like,
Yeah, 2 generational talents, literally.
You know what's really weird is when you watch Undertaker's very first match ever, and it's against Bruiser Brody.
oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, you know what I love about this era of Taker is he's kind of figuring out the character, but it's in the early stages. Like he's getting those mannerisms and stuff down. But it's also cool. One thing I like about watching these matches of his earlier years is how look at the speed of him. Like he kind of goes from like 0 to 100 like that.
Yeah, he does.
Oh man, it's so good. And like also too, I love like some of the other gimmicks. Like you remember he put the wrestlers after he win, he put them in a body bag and stuff like that.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
That was a cool
That
feature.
was kind of cool. And always wondering what the hell was in the damn urn.
it's probably nothing.
M&Ms.
Yeah. M&Ms. Yeah, M&Ms. Peanut M&Ms.
He's probably like Marshawn Lynch and loves Skittles.
Usually the camera like cuts to him and you see. That's why he always hugs it. Like you're not supposed to know, but what
All I
M&Ms
know is
Oh,
it's not
yeah.
cucumbers with pickles. Have y'all heard about that?
What?
Yeah, Undertaker's definitely afraid of I think it's cucumbers. No, it's pickles.
Yes, yeah. No, it's cucumbers.
It's
Oh, yeah.
cucumbers.
It's cucumbers. Like, yeah, and somebody would like put cucumbers in his water and he'd get
Paul
famous.
Bear used to rig him with that all the time. Paul
That's
Bear,
crazy.
I
Of
love
Paul
all
Bear's
the
an
things,
underrated prankster.
I love
Oh
Paul
yeah,
Bear.
yeah.
Very
Yeah.
underrated prankster.
I can't wait for Bree to get to when you guys cover what is it, SummerSlam '96 with the boiler room brawl.
Oh yeah, yeah,
When
yeah.
Paul Bear turns?
I can't wait to see her.
I don't want to. No, I don't want to see Brie cry. I'm already afraid of when she's gonna cry when we have to go over the Savage leaving.
She's got
Or what
several
about
things.
when Tatanka gets beat by Luke?
Or, yeah, and that's coming soon in the next 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh God. It's not that Tatanka loses; it's who he loses to that pisses me off.
Who did he lose to?
Ludwig.
Borga.
I don't even know who that is.
Exactly.
So
I heard when I watched your episode, I was like, I heard. I mean, you guys talked about it. I was like, I don't know who that is.
he was supposed to be built as like the next big heel, and he was a Helsinki prize fighter.
Hellraiser from Helsinki.
And it's one of the worst. He comes in during this what I'm telling you through with the USA versus Ford Fanatic storyline.
Yeah,
It's trash, and his promos are him just dogging America and how like under it's gone during the 90s, and
Yeah.
it's just like, oh, this is uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's
But-
like if they gave Ivan Drago like a live mic. That's essentially what it is.
But I will say, this dude's life outside of pro wrestling
yeah.
hits all the bingo cards.
Did you guys see the interview with Taker recently where he's talking about Sting's retirement?
Yeah, where he said he was going to kick Sting, he would kick Sting's ass.
No, I didn't see that. No, it's
Oh.
like he's very humble. He's like, I hope your retirement is everything
Yeah,
that you
yeah,
want it
that
to
part,
be.
yeah.
Like you deserve it. You deserve every accolade. You're like, you know, an icon.
Yeah.
I mean, you're literally an icon in the business. And I was like, that was really
He
big of him.
jokingly said it, but they were asked about the match with him and Sting. He's like, I would have kicked his butt. I would have put him in a coffin. I was like, dang.
I don't know what they would have done in that in that sense. I mean, they probably would have had if it was when the year that he came in, they would have had him like Taker win. But I mean, think if Sting had been in the WWF like for years beforehand, like you know, if he had left WCW, like it could have been anyone. Like
Yeah.
especially if they built him properly.
Yeah, I also saw something. I think it was the same interview where Taker was talking about how like Andre and him got along really good, and Andre was wanting to possibly work with him, but of course Andre wasn't healthy.
Yeah.
But could you imagine that Andre the Giant against the Undertaker? Holy shit!
No, you talk about generational like.
Yeah,
That's like saying the 70s versus the 90s. Like
Yeah,
Like,
that's
2 decades difference right there.
yeah, because they first met during Taker's short stint in Japan. Because he worked in Japan in '89 and '90 before he signed. That's where he teamed with Scott, and they had like tag title matches working for New Japan.
Yeah.
They were a big deal.
Nate Slater was on here earlier and he hadn't seen it, but I was talking to him about Dax Harwood listing his top 10 tag teams of all time. And I was like, there's no Dudleys on there. And he's like, there's no Steiners on there. And I'm like, good point.
Who was in this top 10 tag team?
Midnight Express was number 1.
That makes
Yeah,
sense.
the
Very
Ole and Arn I think was on there, right? And I also think he had Arn and Tully.
Hold on.
Rock and Roll, Hardys, and Edge and Christian were on there.
All right, no offense.
I got it right here.
Road Warriors.
So from number 1 to number 10, number 1 was Midnight Express. Number 2 was Arn and Tully. 3 was Road Warriors. 4 was Rock and Roll Express. 5 is Heart Foundation. 6 is Edge and Christian. 7 is Hardy Boys. 8's Briscoes. 9 British Bulldogs. 10 Gene and Ole Anderson.
Oh, that's what was Gene and Ole. Okay. Minnesota Wrecking Crew.
To have Gene and Ole and not Ole and Arn is interesting. Not gonna lie.
But I guess it kind of makes sense though, because I mean different eras too, and I mean man, Minnesota
I
Wrecking
don't feel
Crew.
like he's that much older than me though, so I didn't think he would have watched.
Well, I think he's
Gene
like
and Ole.
a big student of the game, so I mean
Yeah.
I think he watches like every sort of tag team wrestling.
So like, is there even a lot of footage of Gene and Ole out there?
Unless you've got some Crockett stuff,
Connections.
which I mean I don't think it's on Peacock really, but
I don't even know if I've seen a lot of Gene.
Yeah.
I was like,
I mean
don't-
shit, Gene retired in like fucking I don't know 84 or something like that. It was.
Yeah, even earlier than that. I think it was like 83.
You're probably right. Yeah, yeah. He retired like way hell
'Cause it was
before we
like-
were alive. So
because Arn came in like 84 because he came from the Crockett's from Mid-South.
yeah,
Because and that's what I love to like tell people that like there's so many people from the Crockett's and the like in that era that came from Mid-South that like people don't realize like Mid-South got a lot of talent taken away from them.
Yeah.
yeah. They got rated for a lot. They were like one of those big.
Because no one
companies
respected
about
Bill
them.
Watts.
I mean, people talk about the AWA and stuff, but like hell, man. They may have got. Now I'm thinking about it in hindsight. They may have got the worst run of it. Really.
Multiple times.
It's weird. It's weird, like watching, like even though this is '91, like a Hogan match, because everybody thinks of Hogan later on in his career, almost like saying like John Cena 5 Moves of Doom, but like Hogan is bumping and selling and like
You know what is
working.
crazy? And as much as I hate Hogan, watching a Hogan Japanese match,
Oh yeah, he's like,
so great.
Yeah, watch him and I think it was him and Great Muta from like the Tokyo Dome in '93. That's a pretty good match. Also, there's one of him against Tatsumi Fujinami, and that was a really good one.
That's what I was. The Fujinami match is like, holy
Yeah.
shit, Hogan can go.
Yep. Oh God, I think this is where Taker paralyzes Hogan. Y'all know about that, right? Like Hogan talks about how he legit got a stinger from this matchup. In the most, you'll see it here in a couple minutes. It's the most
with the
ridiculous.
chair.
Yeah, it's like he didn't
Yeah.
even come remotely
He
close
doesn't
to
even
touching
touch
the chair.
Yeah, Hogan's a bitch.
Yeah, fuck Terry.
Yeah, fuck you, Terry.
Oh, he made Taker feel bad for not even. Yeah, no, don't do that.
I wonder at this point if Vince literally saw like, here's where we're going, here's the future. You're like if you see it at this point, because I mean Hogan leaves in what 90
93.
so we've still got 2 years of Hogan here.
Yeah, because
Well, think about it though. Remember, he was 92 right after WrestleMania. He left, and I think that's when he was filming Mr. Nanny.
yeah,
And he didn't even come back till 93.
yeah. He was gone all of 92. He's there for like the first half of 93. He leaves right after King of the Ring. Or not King of the Ring, the pay-per-view before.
Oh, he's got the Roman Reigns schedule. Okay.
Yeah.
He leaves right after not King of the Ring, but the pay-per-view before that. And that's where he leaves, and then he's pretty much gone for good.
All right, yeah. So here's the tombstone. I want to see. He does. I remember this. I remember thinking, you're really high. You're literally at his junk. Like you're not even at his knees, Hogan.
Yep. Oh, he gave me a stinger, brother. I was paralyzed for 5 days, and then after that, I went and slammed Andre the Giant in the Silver Dome, and then he died a couple days later, brother. By the way, also, I was going to be in the band Metallica. A lot of people don't know that. And also,
the George Foreman grill.
Yep, brother, I had that, and I also came up with the theory of relativity. It was me, actually, too, brother. God.
Is Hogan? Does Hogan beat Taker for this to get it back?
The Tuesday in Texas, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
So
Like,
his
his first reign was only 5 days.
Yeah, his first reign
Yeah.
was literally only 5 days. But I mean, it's still, you got to look at the time frame though, and put it in perspective. How often did a heel defeat a babyface for the world title? It
That's true.
rarely, if ever, happened in the WWF. So, I mean, it's still a huge pivotal moment, I think. And it's definitely a massive part of Taker's legacy. The fact that he won the WWF title at such a young age, early on in his career.
He was.
This is where he's paralyzed.
I can't remember.
Oh, yeah. Poor Hulk. Poor Terry. Poor Terry. He's like, right now he's talking about like, okay, brothers, are we going to Babe Strip Club afterward here? And who's buying the brewskis, dude?
No, he's trying to figure out which wrestler's wife he's trying to screw.
Oh, there you go. Well, it's not going to be Pat Patterson's. Love you, Pat. All right.
So what was I listening to? I think it was Busted Open, and they were talking about Bully was talking about like he wishes that talent would like the writers would ride along with the talent to get to know him. He's like, look at The Rock. The Rock only worked with Pat Patterson and Brian Gewirtz, and look how that worked out for him because Brian Gewirtz knew the person behind the character. He got to know him. He knew what he was like. He knew how he spoke. He knew how he interacted. But Brian Gewirtz has a book out, and I want to read it like crazy.
I've heard nothing but phenomenal things about that book.
Oh, I didn't know he wrote a book. I bet that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's a few years old.
Oh no, it's like a year. It's just a year.
Oh yeah.
Like it's new. It's still new. I didn't realize that Todd Gordon wrote a book.
I
heard about that.
I shared that multiple times when I first heard about it. Because two guys that work with, so in the early 2000s, Todd Gordon ran another wrestling company that nobody really knows about. And it was called Pro Wrestling Unplugged. With the a very famous independent tag team called the Backseat Boys, Trent Acid and Johnny Cashmere.
Oh, okay. I remember Backseat Boys from ROH, yeah.
So they started their own company when they had a falling out with ZZW. So they ran the booking, and he just took care of the money, kind of like with Paul.
Okay.
But they ran in the arena. Also, this was like the height of independent wrestling in the 2000s, where like 6 different companies ran in the arena. Because you had like them, you had ZZW, you had XPW when they moved to the East Coast. You had Blue Meaty's 3PW, which was that was a horrible company.
Jasmine St. Clair.
Have you watched Blue Meaty's shoe interview?
Yeah.
About her?
All right, bro.
What?
Yeah, he pretty much rips into her, doesn't he?
Yeah,
but she put him through a lot of hell too. Is what it sounds like.
Yeah, she fucked up his life.
Yeah.
Like, how can you tell your boyfriend, the guy who's supposed to be your boyfriend, that I'm gonna go visit family, and then be with another guy in a whole other seat?
Yep.
And then
meanie.
Make it known on MySpace where he can see everything. Like, you're dumb.
Oh man, MySpace. Now we're going back, but that time. But it's interesting you say that about indie wrestling, that time frame, because I mean that's something I don't really think about. But you're absolutely right. I mean, that time frame we're always thinking, oh, it's all WWE, it's the only show in town stuff. But I mean, you look back on that time frame, man, and you've got some great independent wrestling. You've got Ring of Honor coming up, doing what they're doing. And then look what Impact Wrestling or TNA Wrestling was doing in that time frame too, man. It's like
on the East Coast, they had PWG, but on the East Coast, you had ZZW, you had Ring of Honor, you had Jersey All Pro, you had ZZW, you had XPW when Shane bought the franchise and moved it to the East Coast. You had 3PW, you had UCW, you had so many independent wrestling promotions on the East Coast during this time.
Midwest, you got ICW and stuff.
Yeah, you had IWA Mid-South. You had...
Well, guess what I just did?
What?
I picked my headset back up.
And broke it.
Oh, no.
That
so,
sucks.
So Black Friday's tomorrow, everybody.
Oh, no, here's
get Dad hat, some headphones for Black Friday. First Christmas present.
I literally got these from Five Below, and they've worked just fine. So I'll go. But by the way, now
you could duct tape them.
Yeah, it just feels weird sitting on my head now. Now that Thanksgiving is over, it is now time to fully celebrate, and I'm going to have me a Christmas tree.
Preach. Love me some Christmas trees. God, they're so good.
I am not gonna lie, but I see Piper in this era, and the only thing I can see is him
Right.
doing blackface.
It was so wrong.
Yeah.
It's the only thing I can see when I see Piper in this era is him and Bad News Brown.
But he was so good. I mean, not the blackface part, but I'm talking about like I mean, he's always good on the mic, but everything. But like, I think other than that, that was some of his best work.
Yeah, even after that time, even if you look in like after the Bad News incident, like in the 90-91, I love Piper on color. I think Piper and Vince was a great underrated team on color commentary.
You wanna see some great Piper stuff? Go to the late 70s and watch stuff in Portland.
Oh yeah,
So
Yeah.
phenomenal. And he's a babyface. It's
yeah.
a
Just
babyface.
overall,
Piper.
I love. I mean, I think we can all agree. We all love Piper. I mean, he was just so
I know.
talented.
The
In-ring,
stuff he did in
out-ring.
WCW was phenomenal too. And that's not even like one of the best Pipers. Like
Yeah.
they give him some shit. Oh my god.
You know what else I loved about this era too? The interviews in the back in the locker room set that they always had.
It looked, yeah, because it was a set. It wasn't an
Yeah.
actual locker room.
Yeah, I want an actual. I don't know. I just love it. It reminds me of like Saved by the Bell, kind of like the locker rooms, the way they're set up and stuff.
You want to know how I actually heard about these being sets and not actual locker rooms?
How?
Master Follow Through one.
ICP was an ICP shoot.
Oh wow, ICP ruined it for you. Oh
Because
shit, dude.
they talked about how they were outside waiting to do an interview for like live events, and they were in line with Vampiro, and Goldberg was in there doing interviews, and Vampiro, while the light is on, starts hammering the door and then runs away. So Goldberg comes out and it's just ICP, like standing there not knowing what to do. And just Goldberg cusses them out.
The funny thing about these sets is like the size of the lockers. Because, like, think Flair. Yeah, I'm sure Flair's robe, travel bag, gear bag are all going to fit in that tiny little locker.
Yeah.
Macho Man's hat, gear, travel robe, like hat box, everything.
I never noticed how skinny they are.
Mm-hmm.
My gosh, now you haven't paid attention to details.
I mean, this is what? This is November, so December, January. This is 2 months before he wins the title in the Rumble.
Yeah.
Oh, Nature Boy.
I love Nature Boy then.
Nature Boy now.
Oh man, so hard to watch.
It's even him just talking and stuff is still kind of. I love Rick still to this day, but it's like, oh man, I don't know.
His promos during this era though does sound like he's on like a line of speed.
Probably.
His eyes are bulging on his head.
So let me ask you this, Dad Hat. I mean, we don't know where it's at, but if it's nearby, are you going to try to go to Revolution, see Sting's last match?
I'd love to, but it would have to be close.
Yeah.
When is Revolution?
I don't even know when it is. Like, I think it's March, maybe?
It's early 2024. It's
Yeah.
one of their first pay-per-views.
I
of the
mean,
year.
would love to, because like I've only seen Sting in person once, and it was at one of the AEW shows here in Charlotte, and all he did was accompany Darby to the ring. So I at least have seen him in person. I mean, he did some physical stuff outside the ring, but he wasn't super involved. Like I've never seen him. I've never seen him put a Scorpion Deathlock on somebody. I've never seen him do a Scorpion Death Drop, a Stinger Splash. Like he literally did some stuff outside the ring. But at least I got to see him in person. I got to see my childhood.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to see that match, but I mean, the Rumble is going to tap me out for a while.
I
You know
feel
what
it.
I would love to see that SOB do?
What?
Say this is his last match, and then do one last match at TNA.
A lot of people are talking about that. Like his last match should be in TNA.
Like, you know how great that would be?
Like, because I told my wife when we had a long discussion about the Rumble. Like, hey, I think some people are gonna go down. Like, I'd like to go. Like, let that be my Christmas, and it'll be Christmas, Valentine's Day, birthday. I mean, it'll be everything rolled in.
I was about to say, that is a years longer presents.
Yeah, pretty much. I was like, because like I want to go down there, but I also want to go down there. Like, I want to be able to go to the superstore and buy some stuff. Like, I don't want to go down there and literally be like, well, I get to go, but I don't get to enjoy anything else. Like,
Yeah.
so like I want to have money down there to like buy. Like, I already have been given orders. Well, one, my oldest son. Two things. I asked him, I was like, are you going to watch the Royal Rumble so you can see if you can see me on TV? And he's like, you don't even have tickets yet. You're just planning. And I'm like, excuse me, little man.
I love your son so much.
I was like, sassy boy. But then he wants me to bring, he loves Cody. He wants me to bring him a Cody Rhodes something back. So,
Dad, nothing says I love you, son, like a Cody Rhodes weight belt that probably costs $300. Just do that, bro.
What, laps around him 18 times?
Yeah.
You just get him in the gym and have him start working out now, and he'll be able to use it in a few years.
Oh, Typhoon and Earthquake. I love John Tenta, but
I love the Natural Disasters. I thought they were a great tag team.
And IRS.
Horrible on the mic.
His son's got all that.
God, he's trash.
Yeah, so weird how they turned this into like a sick band.
Those are the GOAT tag team titles from WWE.
That part.
Yes. Those belts were beautiful. I agree.
Those are the best belts ever.
I agree.
These are my favorite. And then second is the early 2000s SmackDown and Raw belts.
Oh, I hated those.
I love those. With the blue lettering?
Yeah, I hated those.
Specifically, I love. I was a huge SmackDowns kid because I was a huge Hooligans fan. Brian Kendrick and Paul London were so great to me.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they were. That was a pretty fun
Brian
tag.
Kendrick's from here.
I can't see Big Boss Man and not think, yeah, I got to see you live once in the Kennel from Hell match.
Oh, that's right. I always forget you're at that one. Nice.
Every time
I'm
I
going to be peppered house now.
I'm so happy somebody else looks at. I'm so somebody else looks at Boss Man and thinks something horrible because I look at Boss Man and the only thing I can think is him writing Big Show's dad's fucking casket.
Well, hey, that's the Survivor Series where he wins the world title. Big Show gets put in the match and wins the world title.
Yeah,
it's a great call though by JR. That call for he's like, he buried his father on Monday. He did it. Now he's winning the world title. Like,
yeah.
But that funeral segment is just so uncomfortable.
Yep.
The only thing that's more uncomfortable segment-wise is what happened last night between Nick Wayne and his mom and Christian. And as a Nick Wayne fan, last night made me cringe.
Oh, with the chair shot?
Yeah, that whole segment leading up to the chair shot, that whole thing just was awkward and uncomfortable for me.
The one thing I would have changed about it, it's not any related to Nick Wayne or like cringe, but I don't understand why they didn't just remove Luchasaurus's mask. Like, let's just if we're gonna go with this other gimmick, then take the damn mask off.
Yeah,
they really should. They should. It's weird knowing that the first time I saw him was on Big Brother.
He was. Yep, I watched that season.
Jack Tunney, R.I.P. Man. Jack Tunney was like, as a kid, I just remember I never liked him, even though like he had like this good decisions for like baby faces and stuff. I don't know, he's this authority figure in the WWF, and it just was like, I did not like Jack Tunney. What are your guys' thoughts on Jack Tunney?
If somebody
I
again who's
wasn't
watching
watching
like,
then, so I don't really. I mean, he's
if somebody who's watching like the later Jack Tunney run, like because like 93, 94 is when he's gone, like he leaves, and it's not a big fan, and he's very uncomfortable on the mic, and it's
his
there's
commentary team is magic.
also facts.
Oh, Gorilla and Bobby, yeah, one of the best of all time. Shit.
That's what I feel like. I mean, I like Vince, Savage, and Bobby together as a three man. But like, I feel like these two on Raw would have been phenomenal.
Yeah, I remember when they paraded out Monsoon. I was at WrestleMania 14 or 15. I think 15 when they did the Butterbean match, and he was like a judge, and he had lost all the weight.
God, he looks really sick then. Yeah.
But you can tell he just loves being there still.
Yeah.
You
Ah, yes, the tag team won with the Beverly Brothers and the Nasty Boys.
By the way, now watching them again on Raw, Beverly Brothers underrated.
Yeah, they were a
They
good
did-
tag team. I mean, they were great in the AWA, even though they were like, what were they, construction workers or something? Was that gimmick? I think.
Oh, Macho Man's brother.
Yep. Oh, the genius.
That bitter man.
I saw somebody shared it on TikTok, and it was like this old, like probably around Survivor Series, one of these years, video package. It was all these different wrestlers saying what they were thankful for, and like he's on there, and he's like, "I'm thankful for being the smartest person in the WWF." But I mean, it was all very like doing their gimmicks. Like Ravishing Rick Rude was like, "I'm thankful for having the most ravishing body in the entire world." Oh, the Nasty Boys. Love the Nasty Boys.
Love the Nasty. Yeah. Pretty cool. They just announced, so they've been announcing a ton of guests already for Squared Circle Expo 4 here in Indianapolis. It'll be the week before WrestleMania next year. But anyways, Nasty Boys were announced. They're going to be there along with Sting. We're getting Kane, Eric Bischoff. Big bunch of big names
bunch of
already.
preservatives that are just complete jackasses in their real life, except for Sting.
The Nasty Boys were at the gathering, and it was awesome.
Nice. And everybody's favorite tag team, the Bushwhackers.
I hate watching what the WWF did.
I love the Bushwhackers.
So, Michael, what you're telling me is you hate the Bushwhackers, but you love the Sheepherds.
Yes.
Yeah,
the 70s tag team, the Sheepherders, the most violent tag team in the world. Yes, I love the Sheepherders. This gimmick is...
I don't know. I look at it this way. Don't get paid a lot of money and get really, really hurt and bloody all the time. Make a lot of money and do a lot less. Yeah, I'm going to take the money.
You're right, but it's just like...
think about it, man. They put their bodies through and stuff, and now it's like, okay, they're getting a fat paycheck. The kids love them, you know. It's polar opposites of their gimmick before, but I also think too it shows how versatile those both Luke and Butch really were. Like definitely an underrated tag team. And then, of course, the big storyline with this one is this is really kind of what starts the whole Rockers riff. Is really in this matchup.
Oh, it is. That does bring.
A very young Shawn Michaels. It's so weird when I see it. Like, there's one. I know there's. I think it's on one of the Scott Hall like biographies on Peacock or on the network. And it shows like him and Shawn in the AWA. Shawn's got like a bowl cut, and I'm like,
yeah,
so weird.
Yeah.
His hair, like he looks like during his short stint in Texas for World Class, is so weird. But he worked for World Class and for the Guerreros.
What you didn't know was the Bushwhackers traveled into the future and found a Broken Skull Ranch hat for them each to wear.
What?
That's exactly what that hat is.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Yeah. That's hilarious.
Well, the funny thing is, I remember those hats being sold in like the catalogs and stuff, and like it was like the brim. If you looked at the brim on that, where like Butch had like chewed on it, that's like how they sold them. Like they'd already been chewed on by the bushwhackers.
Anytime, like with back in the day, when you show the catalog and you show the merch, I get so pissed at the prices. I'm like, why can't that be that now?
Yeah, for real, dude. For real.
Like one episode you showed, and it was like you could get the big gold with anybody's nameplate, and for like nothing. And I'm like,
it was like $100.
Yeah,
yeah. Yep.
I'm surprised. To me, I'm shocked that the Nasty Boys were so as big in the WWF as they were. Like, I just don't see them being like somebody that Vince would be like, yeah.
It is very surprising, but I mean, man, they did some awesome work there. I mean, of course, winning the WWF tag titles, that's
Were they
huge.
in WCW first, then they went to WWF, and then went back to WCW, or was it?
They did work briefly in WCW. They worked there in like 90. I mean, they worked other different territories too, but like they came into
they
WWF
were Florida
like
boys. That's why they got their
91.
push, because they're Hogan's boys.
Well, that's probably a big part of it.
That's true too.
Yeah.
Like,
but still, they're the Nasty Boys. I think is another one of those tag teams that's underrated. They should be in the Hall of Fame, in my opinion.
Oh, they should.
With all their accomplishments.
Yeah. But I think that's why they got their big push and why they were so over is because Hogan had all his friends like, okay, they're gonna be on the top with me.
Like the Click didn't do the exact same thing years later.
Yeah.
People complained about it. I mean,
facts.
The first time I ever went to like Hogan's Beach Shop, I was there and I literally just went to. I'd never been. I wanted just like also because I'm like, hey, I can get some wrestling merch. The girls working there were like, "Are you going to be here tomorrow for the signing?" And I'm like, "What do you mean signing?" They're like, "Well, Hulk will be here."
I remember that.
And Brian Knobs, and I went online to like just see what the prices were, and the astronomical price for Hogan. I'm like, okay, maybe I get it. Brian Knobs was like $25.
Yeah,
How much was Hogan's? Like 100 or something?
Several hundred.
No. Hogan's autograph signings are like $500 to $600. In his own, like he's not only
he's making money because he's doing them in his own venue, so he's not being charged for that. Like,
yeah. So he's a great businessman. He's a horrible asshole, but he's a great businessman.
It's okay, brother. Just like Shawn Michaels, I found Jesus Christ, so I'm good, dude.
You know what? If he found Jesus Christ, he would get his son to stop drinking and driving.
But have you noticed he's been talking about that a lot in some stuff recently? He talks about his faith, brother. It's just like,
yeah, because every 70s and 80s wrestler does that.
Yep. I just like
Ted DiBiase's doing the same thing, and look where him and his son are at, almost about to fail jail time.
Well, Ted DiBiase did that. He did that years ago, and like he's a preacher now. I mean, he is a legitimate like ordained preacher.
No, I'm talking about this money laundering scheme that him and his son done.
Well, I didn't know he was involved anyway. I thought I knew his son was.
I think he's not. I think he's involved to a certain extent, but I don't think it's like as bad as like his kid.
I was looking over the original like NXT roster when they first opened the training facility. I forgot he had another son that wrestled for a brief moment.
Oh, Brett?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I saw that on the list, and I was like, I forgot Brett DiBiase was on the roster.
Here's the thing: Saturday night, the music hits. All of a sudden, no Randy Orton. It's just Ted DiBiase Jr.
Oh God!
You know how freaking funny that would be?
Crickets.
but he's got to come out to like the way that Dom had his interest at WrestleMania with the cops and being cuffs and.
God. If Ted DiBiase Jr. were to come out Saturday, it'd be crickets for sure. But us on Wrestle Talk would have laughed so hard.
So hard. There is. I was saying to somebody about that. I might have said it in our group chat too. But like with this counter programming that Tony Khan is doing, with all the rumors of CM Punk coming to WWE, I still don't believe it. If I was Tony Khan and this whole thing is a work with CM Punk and eventually Punk's going to come back, I would make him return opposite Survivor Series and be like, y'all thought he was returning or coming there? Nope, he's still here. Like,
Well, I would say this, not that it's going to happen, but if it truly is a work and stuff, I think he would be the one unveiled as the devil. So I guess what you could do on Collision, but I don't know. I feel like that's just that would just be cheap as hell. Like if he did, but it's already what he's doing is cheap as hell. So I don't understand why, because they did that a week or two ago. Well, hell, it was last week, I think. It was last Friday, yeah. They did Rampage and Collision at the same night. Why not just say it's a 3-hour Collision? Like, why waste the time to, like, set up the ring for Rampage or whatever? Which, not that it takes them that long to do that, but it's just like, really? Like, who cares?
Yep.
Tony doesn't use his brain sometimes. We got to remember that. He's got the Bobby Brown issue.
Oh, no. We all love and adore Papa Khan because we want jobs with Papa Khan. Hire us. No, yeah, you're right. I love you, Tony, but damn, sometimes I'm like, what the fuck? Whew.
You see, I only want jobs with would want a job with that company because he's got some of my favorite wrestlers, and I just kind of want to be buddies with some people because I just want to hear stories. I don't care if Tony's the boss, but I do want to hang out in the locker room with Eddie Kingston.
Yeah, that'd be pretty dope.
Mike just in his wheelchair rolls by Tony, and Tony releases a statement. I felt like I was going to be physically assaulted. Like I felt like I was going to be harmed.
I would, and I don't do good with authority anyway. Like with Tony Khan, so much.
With y'all talking about Mr. Perfect so much on Queen's Court, I'm like, I wish I was on the episode so I could comment. I'll say it here though. One of my favorite things when you guys talk about Mr. Perfect that I always loved Perfect doing was like, it's kind of like what Charlotte Flair does with like natural selection, that like jump over net breaker thing he would do.
Yeah.
Like,
the snap mare. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, it looks so painful. And as somebody with a bad back, it gives me chills every time. I have a conspiracy theory I'm going to talk about on Wednesday or on Sunday when we film.
I'm excited.
I have a gut feeling that Vince and Paul are not 100% honest when it comes to the working relationship between ECW and WWE, and I think it started way earlier than they say.
Well, when did Paul get to ECW? When did that start?
A little bit around 93. Well, so like, who do you think from ECW, like they were working with them or what?
Yeah. Because in this one of these episodes we have coming that we're filming for on Sunday, one of the matches features a one Jimmy Snuka in his return to the WWF.
Okay, yeah, I remember when he made it when he was in Eastern Championship Wrestling. Yeah,
he was literally the ECW television and world champion at the time of this film.
I mean, Vince is smart. Why not have another quote unquote federation as a feeder system? Why not? I mean,
I know. I'm saying I just don't think they've always been honest about it. Like I feel like this is, and you actually see all the wrestlers that job out in these early Raws. They all became superstars in ECW. You see the Just Incredibles, the Tony DeVitos, the Balls Mahonies.
I love that finish by the Beverly Brothers too. By the way, the flapjack like Ghostbuster. Yeah, dude, it's a great move. It's scary.
It's kind of like FTR's almost.
Yeah, you know what's a great finisher, and I forgot how one of these wrestlers hurt a lot of guys, but the men on a mission finisher,
the cannonball thing.
Yeah, so dangerous looking. Like Mabel hurt a lot of guys early in his career, But like that finisher is devastating.
I still think one of the most brutal bumps I seen him do was like that god awful SummerSlam '95 match with Kevin Nash, and he just literally plops down like all 500 pounds of him on Nash's back. It's just like I can't even imagine.
No,
It's like
it's
you know,
when he
you know,
broke
you know what's
Taker's
going to draw
face.
money. You know what's going to draw money. A guy that can't work against a guy who can't work.
Facts.
Tickets.
No,
Like-
the most brutal
like-
thing is when he
Like
broke
I will
Taker's
say this about
face.
Kevin Nash. I'm a Kevin Nash fan. I give him more credit than most fans do. Like I admit, dude, look how tall he is though. But of course your knees are gonna hurt. But like he still was. I mean, he threw great punches. He had great facials and could sell. He just wasn't a fast dude.
Yeah. And that has nothing even to do with the wrestling. He had literally broke his leg twice while playing college basketball. Like,
Yeah.
he injured himself playing basketball twice.
Well, I just
Did
have to
you
say that
hear-
anybody that really has
Did
a
you
problem
just hear
with Kevin
something
Nash,
in your house, Dad Hat?
What?
Did you just hear something in your house or something?
I mean, I've got an older house. So, I mean, I thought it was probably like something settling.
That's why I was like, the look around. It looked a little like you thought invasion was happening or something. That was funny. I was waiting for you to pull out a gun and just start shooting invaders.
and then I pulled out my gun.
No, like that. I'd be like, I'd be pulling out the quote from Beauty and the Beast. Sacre bleu, invaders.
Did you guys hear about the NASCAR driver that bought the mansion from Talladega Nights?
No, really?
Yeah, Harvick.
Oh, Kevin Harvick. Yeah.
Kevin Harvick
Right.
just retired, and the first thing he does with a bunch of his winnings from his career is buy the mansion they used for Will Ferrell's house in Talladega Nights.
Funny.
Like
That sounds
the
like
most-
something a NASCAR racer would do. I totally would have done
Why does
that.
this one Beverly brother look so familiar? The one.
Well, because he's related to a 1VW.
You got Wayne and was it Wayne Bloom and oh shit, I forget what the other one's name was.
It's the one in there right now with Sean.
I think that's he's related to Matt Bloom, and I think he's related to the Wagner.
To Von Wagner?
Yeah, we've talked about this.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Matt-
One of his uncles is like the Beverly Brothers, right? Or something
Yeah.
like that.
Matt's
About that.
Matt Bloom's dad is
I swear I
uncle.
keep hearing something.
Von Wagner and Matt Bloom are related. They're cousins.
Well, no, I was thinking he looks kind of like IRS.
Oh no,
Oh, really? No, because IRS is wrestling in the next match.
but no. So yeah, one of the Beverly brothers is the dad of Von Wagner, and his cousin is the uncle of A1A Train. What Matt
Oh,
Bloom.
okay.
Yeah, he's
Interesting.
yeah. Von Wagner and Bloom are cousins. That's probably why he's getting the push he is in NXT. Freaking nepotism.
It's all about who you know, man. That's in every job.
I'm related to the Beverly Brothers. Who? Oh,
Well, no, I'm saying when you're related to the head trainer of NXT.
oh yeah, I didn't think about that. Yeah, Matt Bloom. Yeah.
I mean, I would love to work under Matt Bloom. I feel like Matt Bloom would be a fucking great guy to work from.
Yeah, I like Matt Bloom.
His stuff in Japan is so great.
Yeah.
Like, he kind of got the shaft in the WWE, but the stuff he did in the Japan in the 2000s, phenomenal.
Giant Bernard.
That tag team with Tomko, and the
Yeah, of
tag
course,
team
had
with
the great.
Carl
He also had a great tag team with Carl Anderson too.
Yeah, like that's just both those tag teams were great.
Yeah.
Tomko's another one before he went off the wall.
Taka.
No, Tomko.
Oh, Tomko. Oh, yeah, Tomko. Yeah.
Before he went crazy, Tyson did great work.
God, I haven't seen him wrestle or actively. What is he still
So he
going?
got fired from TNA, and then I guess he got really into drugs and alcohol.
As many do.
Hmm.
Have you seen on TikTok? I've seen it circulating. Like it showed up on my FYP a couple different times. It's this old interview with Kevin Owens when he was Kevin Steen, and he talks about playing with his action figures as a kid.
Yeah.
And
I
about
just saw that today. Yeah, with the mug he throws against the
he's
wall.
like, I need a glass shatter, so I'd throw a freaking mug.
I love too, like how he's like, "Oh yeah, this is when I was 17." It's like, "Oh no, I'm just kidding. I was 15."
Yeah.
The story he tells in is one of his shoe interviews about the his grandparents' creepy house. Is so
I don't think
great.
I heard that one.
Oh, he talks. So his parents got divorced. So him and his mom lived with his grandparents, and they had no electricity except for this TV they would pull out once in a while so he could watch a pay-per-view. So all day it would be quietness except for an old clock that would just tick back and forth,
Mhm.
and his grandma shuffling while she did chores.
Huh.
So he would just kind of sit there bored, just listening to these creepy sounds in a crickety old house in Canada, in like the countryside of Canada.
Isn't that most
Yeah.
of Canada?
There's some city. Toronto and like Nova Scotia is dangerous.
I know Toronto and Vancouver are big cities. Other than that, I don't know anything
And
else.
Montreal.
So she's from
Montreal.
Quebec, right? The province of Quebec, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, he's in a heavily like French Canadian, area. Which I think you talk about interviews with him and stuff. I think you guys probably seen this or heard this. Like, the vast majority of his English he learned from was watching Monday Night Raw and listening to Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler.
Yeah, so many different. I mean, so many different wrestlers have said that.
Yeah.
Well,
Because Sammy said the same thing.
yeah.
Which I mean, it makes sense. I agree with what Chris Van Vliet said, or whoever was interviewing him, about like it's funny that you don't have like a Southern accent or something
Facts.
because of it. Like you don't pick up the dialect part; you just pick up the language.
Who was another one that was the same thing for? Oh, Claudio.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's how he learned English.
My wife says it all the time. She's like, a way to learn a foreign language is literally listen to songs you know in a different language. Because like we were in a Mexican restaurant and On the Boardwalk came on, and I was like, or Under the Boardwalk. I was like, this is Under the Boardwalk, but it was a Spanish singer, and I was like, all right.
Never thought about that. That's interesting.
Like that's the way you learn.
Oh, the spot.
Where he kicks.
Sean is hot. We got eliminated all because of Marty not knowing where he was.
Ring awareness, Marty. Ring awareness.
Mm-hmm. Man, if you look at this pay-per-view, there's like, especially back with the formula how it was back then, there's a lot of heels picking up wins on this show.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I can't believe though it was 9 years ago at Survivor Series. It's been 9 years from when Sting debuted in WWE.
Damn.
No, it's God damn it. Where did that time go?
A lot. So everybody.
Fast forwarded everything.
So question for both of you, because I don't know if we'll talk about current Survivor Series before then. So if Orton is returning, which I mean, their WWE's official Twitter has said yes, it is Randy.
That pop is gonna be huge.
If Randy turns on Cody, do we get that at Rumble, or is that the build and we get Cody Randy at Mania?
I hope it's at the Rumble.
I hope it's at the Rumble too, because damn it, I need Cody to finish that fucking story at 40. I can't wait any longer, Dad.
No, I need somebody to take that.
It,
I need somebody to take that book and burn it to the ground. I'm sick of this damn story.
Yeah, I could it possibly happen if they're gonna. I feel like they're gonna do it at some point, right? So why not just go ahead and do it then?
I mean, selfishly, yeah, I'd love to see Cody and Randy in person.
Yeah,
because I'm gonna be there. Like, yeah, hell yeah. Like we what was it? Like I sent we've made like a little group chat for the ones that we know that like we're buying tickets together so we can kind of start planning stuff. And I saw a rumor and it's like I was like, here's potentially the first match we might have announced, and supposedly it's going to be a return match of LA Knight and Roman Reigns. And I was like, I don't hate that. I can at least say that I've seen, the longest reigning champion of our time in person.
Yeah,
I'm okay with that.
But yeah, I would love to see Cody and Randy. I mean, selfishly, but part of me is like, I don't know. I almost feel like you need to do how are you going to get Cody to the Rumble is my thing.
I think what they're going
to like, he can't win the Rumble again. Sorry.
Well, I think it's going to be. I think he is. I think it's going to be back to back, and I think it's just a story they're going to tell.
But then he wouldn't have a match with Randy.
Yeah, that's true too. Or what if he does have a match with Randy and he's in the Rumble too?
Yeah, they pull double duty.
What? But no, I think what's going to happen is it's going to be it's going to be like a repeat of last year, only role reversal. I think Cody enters at number 1, Gunther comes in at 30, and they're the last two in it this year too. And I do think Cody wins. And it's like just talking about like, oh God, he went through the gauntlet and blah 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 to build up the white meat babyface all the more. So I don't know. That's kind of what I see happening.
You can still have Walter go for Seth, which I think they should do. I think
you know what? That's because I've been racking through my brain like, what's going to be the world title match? Because I thought
that would be LA Knight
against Seth.
That's what I thought.
But it's looking to me like it's going to be LA Knight against Logan Paul. That's what they're going to do. So that's like, what do you do with Seth? I can't see Seth. Do you think Seth retains after Mania?
I hope not. I really want this man to take a break. If he's as beat up as they saying, this motherfucker needs to take a break soon.
Yeah.
He's going to end up in a wheelchair.
I mean, Gunther would be the perfect person. And then I've also heard, too, possibly, and I'm greedily hoping this is the case, I've heard Gunther Lesnar at Mania. That's what they're talking.
I mean, I don't hate that either.
Yeah.
My only issue with that is if Lesnar tries to pull some Hulk Hogan shit, saying he can't lose, and then you lose steam with Gunther.
Though I don't think Lesnar. Maybe I'm naive in thinking this, but I don't think Lesnar's that guy. At least not anymore.
I mean, Lesnar's going to be back soon. To me, in my opinion, Lesnar is the guy that Shinsuke is talking about.
Ooh, that'd be interesting.
Ooh, I would love that.
Because he's like, I want to fight. And what does Lesnar say? I want to fight. He doesn't say I want to match. That's what Lesnar's thing is. I want to fight. And they fought before in New Japan. So
they had some great matches in New Japan.
Yeah.
So if they can bring that New Japan style to a WWE ring and they allow them to go at each other on some strong style shit, that would be amazing.
That'd be pretty dope. I would be here for it.
Like everybody's like, oh no. Somebody was like, it's gonna be Kenta, and I'm like, isn't Kenta under a contract somewhere?
Noah.
No, he's still with New Japan.
Oh, he's,
So I'm like,
yeah,
he's
Bullet
he's
Club.
talking about Lesnar. It's not Punk. It's not Kenta. It's Lesnar.
Oh, I forget. Yeah.
I know, actually, Deadhat, there's a name that's not being thrown out there. I know exactly who it is.
So
He wants to take on, like, one of the true legends of the fight game. He wants to take on one of the co-creators of Pancrase. He wants to take on the world's most dangerous man, Ken Shamrock.
well, you know I love Ken Shamrock.
Wouldn't that be amazing, though?
No.
Did I ever show you guys the pictures of Tatanka and Ken Shamrock together?
I think so.
I feel like I've seen him. It's pretty interesting.
They were a tag team in the Independents in the late 80s.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't think people realize that about Ken Shamrock, that he like dabbled in the world of wrestling all the way back then.
Yeah. He got into wrestling before the MMA stuff.
Like, I loved Ken Shamrock as the IC champion back in the day. Like, I love. Like, that's one reason why I spent the money.
Seahawks are getting their ass kicked right now.
Who are they playing tonight? San Francisco?
Yeah, and it's 24-3.
Well, sounds like another 49er win. Shout out to Sienna, her favorite team, the 49ers.
Going into halftime, it's 24-3.
Yeah.
And a fight just broke up.
How come both of his sons are really good on the mic and you suck, sir?
Yeah, you know what's interesting about Mike Rotunda is like it was kind of like copy and paste, like the same type of promo, blah, 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 town I'm in, blah, 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 tax seats, blah, 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 you need to pay up, blah, blah, blah.
The cheating promos are, oh, God.
But here's the one thing I will say about him. Like, in ring, we know he's phenomenal, but I always thought stood out with him was his facial mannerisms. I really think IRS, like, was good at, like, expressing, like, just the most complete and utter disdain of just looking down on the crowd.
I will say,
is this just a 3-on-3, or is there not or are they?
Those are 3-on-3. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I will say though, I blame the gimmick, because actually, if you look at like the Varsity Club stuff, not that bad in a promo. That gimmick kind of pigeonholed the whole into like you can only do so much with a tax guy.
Yeah.
Oh, did y'all hear about Rey Mysterio getting a cartoon on Cartoon Network?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, there's a
that's been in the works for a while.
There's a graphic.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Nice.
So they were gonna start that, and then the strikes happened. So they had to postpone it. But yeah.
But yeah, I felt like this pay-per-view, as fun as it's been. Like,
is this the main event?
Technically, this is goes on last.
This
just felt like a weird show, and I think that's kind of the reason why I look back and I like it, because it's just like stuff is completely out of sequence, and then like I say, it's mostly built into Tuesday in Texas. So, but the Tuesday in Texas, I don't know if hopefully it's available on the Peacock. Do yourself a favor, if you haven't seen it, check it out. It's a good show. There's
I think it is, actually.
There's some solid matches. You've got, of course, the two main events, Hogan Taker rematch for the title, and that kind of sets up Royal Rumble essentially with the vacated title, and then you got Macho Man, Jake the Snake in their first real like on TV one-on-one encounter. You got a great opener with Bret Hart against Skinner for the Intercontinental title. They got the British Bulldog against the Warlord, which I always thought those two were great when they worked together. I feel like there's one. Oh yeah, there's also the $1 Million Man teaming up with Repo Man to go against Virgil and El Matador.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, but you can. I remember as a kid, I didn't see the pay-per-view, but they actually released it on. You remember when the
VHS.
WWF used to put out like those tapes, those compilation tapes of like matches
With the weird names
yeah.
that are
So
all on
it's-
Peacock.
Yep. So it's actually Tuesday in Texas was under Super Tape 1992.
Super
That's
tape.
Super Tape 1992.
I
think
had
that's
four,
awesome.
I had 4 copies of that thing, man. I mean, I was scared it's gonna run out. It's gonna unravel on me.
Well, it's
So
fucking hilarious. Is like also on there. There's like what I loved about those tapes that they did is the little segments they would do with the wrestlers, and I'm pretty sure on that one there's like tax tips from Erwin R. Scheisters on there, and it's just him in his office telling people not to cheat on their taxes and shit.
So I was watching some like early WCW the other day,
How early?
like early 90s.
That's not early.
But I'm talking like all right, but I'm talking like when LOD went back to WCW.
Yeah.
Them with blue shoulder pads is
Yeah.
so weird to me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Talking shit. You're talking like 96.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that is like not that
I
early.
thought that was kind of a weird run they had there because they
It
literally
was.
came back in January and I think they were gone by like April or something.
Yeah.
It was like they were there for a cup of coffee right before the NWO thing started.
The Road Warriors were not built for the mid to late 90s. I'm sorry.
No.
80s into the mid 90s. Because look what they do when they come back to WWF. They play up the whole Hawk substance abuse and falling off the Titantron
hate
with
that
draws.
kid.
And
Hate that storyline.
Yeah, I mean, if you really think about it, their first run in the WWF after that, they never really truly recovered. I
And
mean,
then
they still worked, but
you have Animal come back to WCW in 2001 when they tried to do the Magnificent Seven, which I feel like could have been a great storyline had the company not went under.
yeah.
I feel like that would have been a great faction had that company not bellied up.
yeah. But
Yeah.
I mean, I remember Hawk kind of like it was interesting after the WWF how because they kind of was going to team up in WCW there when they came back at the end of '93, and then like it didn't happen. I think Animal was hurt, so Hawk kind of did a singles run there, and then of course the big controversy with them was like overseas with when they work in Japan, and Hawk was teaming up with Kensuke Sasaki, or they were calling him like what was his name, Michael? They called him like the Power Warriors, wasn't it?
Yeah, Power Warriors, and he had a weird. They changed Kenzaki's name to something else.
It was weird, and it was like obviously like a rip off of the Road Warriors, and
and it was over a buddy thing, and
yeah,
Hawk had his damn issues.
yeah.
That storyline. So I mean, I'd see him here and there, but my first real introductions to the Road Warriors or LOD is WrestleMania 14, 16? Where they come 14. Back in the opening match
with Sonny.
Oh yeah, where they're managed by a convicted felon. Yes, I remember.
LOD 2000, but then leading into the storyline with draws and everything.
Yeah,
so.
That is such. I can't. That's one of those things I'm not looking forward to when we get to that part in the Raw. And I've said this on videos on TikTok. Yes, Attitude Era had some great storylines.
They had a bunch of trash though.
There's like 85% of just complete garbage.
Why do you think I do that one show on here called The Worst of the War? Because there's a lot of bad.
Yeah, like there's parts of Monday Night Raw that like I know Bree's gonna get offended by.
Oh
like,
yeah,
I want to be on the episode when you get to Choppy PP. I'm calling that now.
I'm waiting for Bree to quit the show.
I want to be on the episode when y'all cover. I think it's Fully Loaded 98 when you get to Sable and the handprints. Just to see
you pick.
No, just to see. I want to see Bree's reaction. Just to see.
Like,
No,
Like-
like that episode needs to be a live episode of y'all watching it like we are now.
Oh God!
Like
Like,
so when she
between-
takes off that sweater,
see
like
Bree's
she
reaction.
has the same reaction Jerry Lawler has.
Facts. But like the Choppy storyline,
It's
you
so
have
funny.
the LOD storyline, like the Big Show thing with Big Boss Man.
Oh
There's-
God, Al Snow and Boss Man too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's, hell, the Triple H Stephanie storyline where he drugs her, where they pretend to drug her.
God, if you want to fast forward a couple more years, Katie Fick, are you
Yeah.
guys still going to be
Yeah,
home
we
by
were-
then?
Hell, I can't wait till we get to the HLA.
Oh God.
I'm also would be excited too to see the birth of Mae Young's hand. That's going to
Yeah,
be
yeah,
Yeah. The racist
You,
storyline.
you guys realize that once you guys get to 1998 or not, or I don't remember, 99 maybe, y'all are gonna have to do Raw and SmackDown, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
99.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like I don't know how we're gonna split that, but like,
But yeah, those storylines. Yeah,
You
there's
certainly
gonna-
have unlimited amounts of material to work with. That's for sure.
Yeah, there's just gonna be hell when Dustin comes back, when Goldust comes back to WF as the artist formerly known as Goldust with Blue Meanie.
Oh, and Blue Dust, yeah.
God, that storyline's creepy.
Mommy. Oh God.
oh God, I can't wait till. I mean, you want to talk some of the racist shit. Like even as we get into the Attitude Era, when the Dudley Boys debut, Bubba Ray Dudley is wearing a
Says so.
Confederate flag
Yeah,
bandana, like, but and doing a speech impediment.
yeah.
Yeah,
Doing promos about how he agrees with John Rocker about New York City.
Oh God.
like
Like my
he leans into that quote unquote Bubba too much. Like,
all right. After this is gone, I'm gonna probably go back to hanging out with family.
oh, I'm gonna go to bed after this because I gotta go to work in the
Yeah, I was
morning.
gonna say you got. Oh yeah, we
I
both.
forgot.
I got to work in the
You-
morning, but I know you. God, what time you got to
What
open
time
the
is
store?
to be there?
Well, the mall doesn't open till 9, but I'm not opening. I'm. they
Hold
won't-
up. Black
they won't-
Friday and it doesn't open till 9?
My
Yeah.
mall at least.
Wow, I'm
Yeah.
surprised. Good for them though. I'm glad that they're not
Yeah.
doing some crazy
Our,
bullshit.
our malls and stores are opening at like 4 or 5.
Yeah, but guess what my sales goal is tomorrow?
$2
Something
million.
else.
$24,000.
You'll get it easily.
I hope so.
That's a lot of shirts.
That's a lot, and hoodies, and yeah,
Yeah.
it's a lot. That's why we've been working our tail off to get as much on the sales
Yeah.
floor as possible.
So what's the big Black Friday sale at Hot Topic?
Buy one get one half off the entire store.
Oh, cool.
So
Buy one get one half off. All right.
but yeah, since I'm the store manager, they kind of want me there like during the mid, so I'm there during the peak times, like because the morning might be a little bit busy, but like once people get up and like, you know what, let's actually go to the mall, like that middle of the day till middle.
Yeah,
of
I
the
can't
evening.
see I don't think Hot Topic would be they would be there right when you open, getting they're gonna be the strategy. People are gonna be out getting the electronics and TVs and all the other bullshit.
Well, I mean that's the thing too, but people might be in the malls just a little bit more because like Targets and Walmarts and Best Buys, they've been running Black Friday deals for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So I don't know. This is my
Is
first.
your guys' Best Buy still open?
Yeah.
Ours and our mall is just like hanging on by a string. Our mall's barely hanging on as a whole, actually.
It's funny, my hometown mall, like the city as well as like the hospital here bought it, and they're turning it in this ginormous like park to where it's like it's gonna be like a sporting complex for like softball and stuff, because softball's like pretty big here actually, believe it or not. So
that makes sense actually.
yes, and it's gonna be like other sporting events and stuff. So it's crazy because like where I'm at now, I'm like less than 5 minutes away from it. Like because they're building this, it's like helping like drive up the cost of my home, which is good because I'm trying to sell it right now. So
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I can't imagine like Boss Man and IRS. You're having to wrestle in these dress shirts. Like
I know, and the boots too, the shoes, like pretty much loafers more or less.
well, especially IRS. Like you gotta think, you sweat through that thing every night. You know how often you probably have to buy new ones because they get sweat stains and nasty.
Yeah. I was just
The good thing with him though is at least his outfits are pretty easy to find now.
It's
Yeah, you can find suspenders, a tie, dress pants, and a white shirt everywhere.
Makes you wonder, how many shirts do you think IRS went through in his career?
Ton.
I think now at this point, yeah, we've got a 2-on-1 because the natural disaster just walked out on IRS.
Wow, it's weird to see Hawk without face paint because it's rubbed off so bad.
Oh yeah. Have you ever? I know Michael has. Have you ever seen the footage from like the Great American Bash Tour in the '80s? That's like in the locker room behind the scenes that Jimmy Garvin recorded.
No.
It's like home video footage. Oh my god! I'll have to send you the link after this. It's a fever dream, man. Like Mike, you know what I'm talking about, right? Oh, you're muted, buddy.
I'm going to head out.
Okay.
Oh, you gotta head out?
Yeah. So I'll talk to you guys later.
All right,
Happy
buddy.
Thanksgiving, dude.
Happy Thanksgiving, bud. Thanks for joining us.
Happy Thanksgiving. See y'all.
Bye-bye.
So, but yeah, it's like it's literally like behind the scenes footage, them just like joking around, and like Hawk is freaking hilarious, but it's also kind of like it's just bizarre because you know what's going on in the background. Like,
Yeah.
Like, and they're even alluded to like doing cocaine and stuff. It's just it's crazy, man. It's like
Well,
a
at
crazy.
least they weren't trying to sign a deal with the CW at the time.
Yeah, they were just having fun, touring for the Great American Bash, Crockett's. Like everybody's on this video too. It's like Dusty's on it for a little bit. Young Sting and Lex Luger.
Please tell me they come back and get him. Tell me, or somebody comes out like, yeah, there's a Boss Man. Okay, I'm like, they're not gonna let him win by count out.
It's like, come on, man. Oh. It's like, nope, we gotta send the people home happy.
Do you prefer blue shirt Boss Man or corporate badass Boss Man?
I like both, but definitely blue shirt just because that's like my childhood. What about when he became the boss at WCW?
He had so many names in WCW.
Oh my God!
Boss,
Big
Big
Bubba
Rogers, just Big Bubba.
Big Bubba. Yeah.
I love that. Oh, what a rush! Like start of their entrance music. I always.
Oh yeah, dude, for real.
I love those belts. I love those tag belts.
It's funny because I can't think of any other design that I like more than this one. Like, I mean, I go back to, the WCW tag titles, I never really was a fan of. I thought they just looked like some of the generic of the world title, essentially. Especially
I don't mind the tag titles, but I like them for different reasons. I like the ones, like if you go back and look at when the Outsiders win them from Harlem Heat, when they're still that older, they look almost like an IWGP, like they look heavy.
I kind of leaned for some reason thinking like 91, 92, what they looked like. But yeah, you're right. That was a pretty solid design. Oh,
Even on the set, there's a payphone.
yes, with the WWF hat on top.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, I just love that they added that, a payphone, because I'm sure there was a payphone in every locker room back then.
Oh my gosh. I know. I only know of one place that still has a payphone, and it's if you like for us when we go down to Florida. We stop at the Welcome Center as you go into Florida because my son wants to stop because you get free juice because they have orange juice for Florida. There's a payphone still there, and I'm like, it's the only place I know that has one.
Wow. It's weird. I think they're still there. There's like a place here in town that's like an abandoned building. There's no phone there, but the booth part is there. You can kind of see, like, if if you remember them from back then, you know exactly what it was. It's just so bizarre that that's like is still here. Oh yeah, they closed. I remember this is literally how they closed the show.
Oh, of course,
With yeah.
I love Mean Gene Okerlund.
Oh, I know.
Like he's like the perfect just correspondent. He's got that very just middle of the road, has no dialect. You can't tell where he's from, like standard American.
Mm-hmm. If it's like he puts such like a big emphasis on like certain words, like to overhype stuff up, man. Like he's the perfect like guy on the mic to interview wrestlers, and like he just I don't know. There's something about Gene. Like he just had this aura about him that it was just like yes, obviously he's a good guy, so gravitates towards the baby face, but like the interactions and stuff he'd have with the heels too, like who never forget like the Rumble '92, like put that cigarette out, like
yeah. He was great. He was just like he worked. Of course, you got him with like the Hogans, the Savages, like all the main eventers, but he worked just as well in that mid card and undercard when he's interviewing those. Like,
not a bad interview with anybody really. Like it's funny because we, as you grew up as a fan and stuff, and like in the time frame I'm thinking, like when I'm around 10 and stuff, it's like when they're kind of really starting to joke about Mean Gene, like selling the hotline stuff, like call the WCW hotline now. I got a hot exclusive. 1-900-909-9900.
Well, folks, that was Survivor Series 91. It was the first time I've ever seen the entirety of it, so that was kind of cool. Big shout out to Silverback Nate Slater, Mike Duplessis, and of course XLJ the OG here for joining me. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Follow us on every social media, World Championship Wreckage. Follow Cole TV also here on YouTube. They got amazing content.
Hey, real quick, if I could do a quick plug, tomorrow night we got another live episode of Friday Night Movie Night, and we're going to be celebrating Black Friday of all things. So we're actually there's a movie on Crackle, literally called Black Friday, that we're going to be watching, starring Bruce Campbell. So tomorrow at 9 Eastern, tune in here. Oh,
hey,
you
I should be home by that point. I won't be doing anything. So yeah.
Be on the
lookout tomorrow. We have I won't divulge too much, but we have a brand new show coming to the channel, debuting tomorrow.
Yeah.
So Dad Hat signing off here. Love you guys. Have a great rest of your Thanksgiving. Enjoy those leftovers. And I'm gonna say it here. I'll probably put it on my social medias tomorrow. If you go out tomorrow and shop Black Friday, please be kind to those that are working, who are working very hard during the busiest shopping day of the year and can only do so much. So please be kind to those working, be patient, and don't cause trouble. So, all righty, folks. We love you. Have a good night. We'll talk to you soon.